Lights, camera, action, go. Welcome back to the Gotta Be Good podcast, you guys. I am very excited for this one. Not only do we have a very special guest, but we got my guy Blizzy Tunes
Cracking, baby.
on the co-host, and we got Dangerous today. What's going on, bro?
Just feeling good.
Dude.
Up in my job, Prohibition.
It's a beautiful spot, man.
Living room, Prohibition. Kind of Manny's Steakhouse, too. We're in the Foshay Tower here in downtown Minneapolis.
Hell yeah, I appreciate
Good
you
spot.
having us here, and it's nice to switch it up, dude. This is like way more better than we're accustomed to.
This is so nice, dude. This is
Yeah.
my first time here, and it like if you ever seen the show Lucifer, it gives off penthouse vibes.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of what it's given.
I've also never been drinking an old fashioned on the pod before, so that's pretty tight. Cheers.
Cheers, boys.
So how long you been working here, man?
I've been here since... I didn't drink after the cheers. That's a party foul. I've been here since October. My fiance, Brandy, she's been here for, let's say, like 2.5 years.
Shout out Brandy.
Yeah, shout out
She's a
Brandy
G.
for the
Shout out.
drinks. These are phenomenal. I love you.
Super good.
Mm.
Do you guys have a date set yet?
No, we're just kind of
That's all good.
saving up.
I was just curious.
saving up, playing by ear. Not really rushing it.
No need to.
We're very happy with each other, and we're
Oh, yeah.
How long have you been engaged now?
2 years now.
Nice.
2 years. So 2 years ago, I proposed to her on top of Peak 7 in Breckenridge, Colorado.
Nice.
Is that a ski resort? Ski.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
dope. So
Big.
you ski, snowboard?
Big ski town. Yeah, big snowboarders.
Okay.
Been
Did you guys go
snowboarding.
back this year with a group?
Yeah, we did. We stayed in Silverthorne, I believe. I'm probably wrong on that.
That's
but
all right.
It's like right in the middle between Vale, Breck, Keystone. It's another big one in there. Telluride. But we hit up Keystone this year. Vale. I think a couple of the friends hit up Breckenridge too.
So do you ski or snowboard?
I snowboard.
You snowboard?
Big snowboarder. Been doing it since I was
You do trails or like park?
14. I do both. I'm mostly back home here. Me and my buddy Adler.
Shout
Shout
out
out.
Jordan.
Shout out
Shout
Adler.
out, shout out, Captain
I know that
Smokey
name, bro.
J.
Captain
I
Wook.
don't know where, but I know that name. I know who you are.
I'm gonna be shouting out a lot of people on this pod.
Let's
today.
fucking go.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I ride with him. We always go to Elm Creek or Highland, occasionally Afton, but it's mostly Elm Creek. We get season passes every year.
Is
so
the spot.
it is a spot. We pull rope like nobody's business.
Rope
Getting those hot laps in. It's
Oh my
gang.
gosh.
Oh yeah.
Dude, how much so I don't snowboard, but I tried. And the tow rope was the hardest shit for me to ever figure out.
Your first time ever hitting a tow rope is really intimidating.
And it's like you fall and now you're like having an anxiety attack.
Because everybody else is trying to get
Well,
on and
because
pissed that you fell.
You
Yeah.
got people like
Yeah.
also that just ride up to it, and then you got people that have been sitting there for a while and they gotta like hop
Yeah.
over to it.
See, that's
so,
the thing.
yeah.
Anybody who's amateur snowboarders and you pulling up to the rope, my best advice ever is to try to get speed and just keep
Try to
going.
ride up
Yeah,
to
go
it.
into it.
Yeah.
Or even go farther up it, not where everyone else is getting on.
Yeah.
If you can.
Right. I mean, when you're amateur, that's kind of hard to do because you got to time it and whatnot. But the
Mhm.
best is to just go right at the bottom and just right up into that thing. And it saves so much muscle because if you're just trying to grab it at standstill, you will just
Yeah, pulls your ass.
it will, yeah. I mean, it just takes so much out of your forearms and upper body, and you'll get tired really quick. So if you just go right into it, it will save so much stamina, I guess, and muscle strength.
Sure. And then did you grow up here or in Wisconsin or
So my parents are divorced. I grew up in both states equally. When I was 15, I decided to move in with my dad in Wisconsin. So I finished out high school in Wisconsin and So I wanted to stay solid with a sports team. I was moving around a lot with my mom. But I'm thankful for both. I was born in Grand Rapids, Minnesota. And that kind of has a play in my name, Danger, as well.
Yeah.
Because
And then what?
Grand Rapids was dangerous.
Yeah. Well, no.
Dangerous.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes and no?
No. Grand Rapids is like the most chill town ever. It's
What's-
pretty boring in my opinion.
What sports were you playing then?
Like I was playing baseball, basketball, football at the time in middle school. Then when high school came around, I decided to switch to soccer, which was like one of the greatest decisions I ever made.
Well, it's
Let's
also
go.
hard to keep playing like multiple sports throughout high school. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So what about soccer made you like it more, or made it the best decision?
Not hitting people, not hurting my own teammates in practice, and I love football. I love watching it, but I
Yeah.
just got sick of playing it.
What
I hated
position?
getting hit. I was a running back.
And then in
Running
soccer.
back. In soccer, man, I was so fresh playing soccer. My stepmom was like, "Do you want football cleats or do you want soccer cleats?" And I was like, let's just try soccer.
Yeah.
So I did it in freshman year. I ended up making varsity for the playoffs.
Yep.
Didn't see a minute of time.
No tick.
But
But you were still.
I was fast.
Yeah.
I
you're
didn't
still there.
have any ball control whatsoever.
You was balling though. Like, hey,
I was
go
fast.
Kick it
That's
far,
about
let him run it.
That's
Uh,
about
try
it.
to
I
get a
could
shot
barely
on goal.
I could barely even kick the ball. But sophomore year came around and ended up being a starter for the playoffs. I think we made it to sectional finals
Damn.
and ended up not doing good. Didn't make it.
Yeah.
Junior year, sorry.
No, you're good.
Junior year, ended up starting the entire year, left defense, or actually I was high defense at that time.
Mhm.
Ended up helping get the Barron High School to state for the first time in school history.
Let's go.
So this wasn't
was,
Grand Rapids. It was a different high school.
No, it was Barron High School in
Okay.
Wisconsin. Yeah. I was born
Gotcha.
in Grand Rapids, but I
But-
only went to school there for like 2 years.
Got
when
it,
I
got it,
was,
okay.
Like,
Okay, so we
third
jumped
and
ahead quite a
fourth
bit here
grade.
then. So 3rd, 4th grade, Grand
Yeah.
Rapids, and then middle
Yeah,
school
and I
and
bounced
forever else
around.
Wisconsin.
And then, after Grand Rapids, I went to St. Mike or Rogers. Lived in
Okay.
Rogers for a couple of years. Ended up meeting a really good buddy, Riley Bulow. He's passed now. He's a big reason why I make music and why I snowboard. I do a lot of the things I do. Honestly, I do this for him. Up him.
R.I.P. the homie.
Yep. Drink to the dead, homies. Miss
Cheers,
you,
Riley.
Riley. I'm gonna get emotional, but it was he's a big reason why I do everything I do. But moved to Rogers, met him, then shortly after moved to St. Michael, Albertville.
Yep.
And stayed in there, and then met a lot of good homies there that I'm still really friends with. Shout out my buddy Tate, or his artist name Perf. Really big up and coming artist. He's going to blow up. Check out his music.
Shouts go out to him.
He's kind of like the emo rap type. He's
I like
Lil
that.
Peep vibes. Yeah, I
Goth
think you
Boy
you would
Click.
really love him. He
Okay, I'll have to
is
check it out for
so
sure.
good. We're working on a song together. Deciding if we're gonna try to send it to a label or individually
Very nice.
release. But yeah, he's super talented. I made a beat in like 5 minutes, and he was like, "Let's just. I got a few songs I want to reference," and I was like, "No, fuck that. We're not gonna reference anything.
Yeah.
Let me just make something quick."
We're going in.
I made it quick, and he was like, "Oh, I could work with that." Came up with this most fire rap for it and like vocals for it in like not even 5 minutes. Just so good. And he was planning on like bailing that day. He actually had a funeral that day of his
Oh.
uncle, so it's kind of like. But I think that's good. You get those vibes out there, those feelings that.
That
Oh,
too.
yeah, like bring
And
that into the
also,
studio.
Dude, probably honestly, his uncle probably would have wanted him to go and
Oh,
like
yeah.
Do his thing.
Yeah, and he came over around like I want to say like 10 o'clock p.m. and started working on it. And he's got a way better studio for recording vocals in it. And we were trying to record vocals in my shitty little basement on my shitty mic. And we're like, I was like, no, let's just go to your house. We're working on it, and we were just like giggling, laughing because it's so good. And we're just like, when you get so excited over a project like that.
Oh yeah,
it's
bro.
just
It's really awesome to have that feeling over
nothing
a
like it.
project, especially one that like you didn't take long at all on.
Yeah.
It's crazy how those short projects usually end up being the most fun and sound the best. I think it's really the vibes you bring, you know.
Yep. It's like I've been preaching it ever since I started making music.
Yep.
It's like baking with love.
Hell
You
yeah,
can
bro!
really
It could
tell
be the
when
same
someone-
sandwich,
Yep.
same bread.
Bacon cheeseburger.
But when
Yep.
someone puts their love into it and they care about it, people can tell.
It's gonna taste that much better, bro.
It
So
does.
much better.
Dude.
Especially when someone makes it for you. Too.
Yeah.
What do you get?
With you
like,
in
like,
mind.
free food is the best. Like,
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
It like I
Grad
don't know, it's
parties
just
are the
something else.
best.
Yeah.
Dude. Okay.
Hits way harder.
Question for a different time. Never mind.
We'll save it for later.
Yeah, save it for later.
But dude, also, it's cool to know that you kind of grew up somewhat around like the Hennepin area. I always thought you grew up like in Wisconsin, kind of.
Oh yeah, that's what a lot of people think just because I graduated there. But I have
Mhm.
a lot of family over here. in
And
Minnesota.
then, didn't you go to school up in Duluth?
I did very
College?
briefly.
or
I mean,
high
we were
school?
moving around. My mom started out in Eau Claire, and then we went to Duluth for like a year and a half, and then we went to Grand Rapids, and then we went to Coleraine, and then back to Grand Rapids.
There's a lot of moving around.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and then yeah, and then to Rogers and the St. Michael, and then after that, I was like, I want to live with my dad. I want to be set in a sports team. I want to get known. You know,
That
'cause
and
I'm
it's tough. It's tough, like meeting people and having like a friend base, and then being like, "All right, guys, peace.
I'm also yeah.
I'll see you when I see you, I guess."
Right. To
Yeah.
add on to that specifically, I'm super thankful that it
Mm.
happened, all that moving around, because
Yeah.
it definitely made me stronger in a sense to make friends and to
Yeah,
Yeah.
and be like,
talk
it gives
to
you a good
people, yeah.
social
It's a dope skill to learn.
skills. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
I'm thankful.
You could probably be in a room full of 100 random people and confidently navigate your way through it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, when I choose.
When you choose
you
to.
know, like
Yeah.
most of the time I don't. I'm kind of not really a social bee. It's
You're
I
very
prefer
chill.
to not. Yeah.
But like
when I
having a
have to-
conversation with you though is great because I was even gonna say this too. Like Dan's the type of guy where you could rage at base room with all day, and then like it'll be like super late at night, and you catch like Hessian bomber blowing your mind. And you'd be like, turn over and be like, "Hey, I got a golf tee time at like 9 a.m., 10 a.m. tomorrow. You want to go?" He's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "That's what's up." Like,
I'll show up a half an hour late, but I'll.
hey,
be
that's
there.
okay. We were only 2 holes in. I just drove back and came and grabbed you quick. It was fine. Shout out golf
that-
carts.
Yeah, that was embarrassing. to say the
No, dude,
least,
it's
but
all good. It's all good. So,
Proceeded to hit the balls good.
yeah.
Base Urban Pines.
Yeah, we
You
got.
haven't played there though, have you?
No, I submitted to play there.
Yep.
I'm hoping they hit me back. That'd be pretty cool to get a slot. I haven't really been playing any actual shows. I just played my
But
first.
you did just play a show.
I did, yeah.
Okay, I want to get a timeline going here. So we were talking about so when did you exactly start producing music?
So about 2 years ago now.
Okay, so what got you into music before that, or are you a 2-year fresh guy?
Producing music 2 years ago.
Okay.
I separated. I was DJing for about 2 years before that.
So 4 years ago.
4 years ago, I started
Okay.
DJing.
Yep.
My roommate Austin Rude, he's also a DJ.
Shout out to Austin.
Yeah.
He's opened for you before, I think. Union Rooftop. I was there.
Oh, he definitely did.
I was
Yeah.
supposed to meet you there. I
was
think.
that for?
Yeah, you left-
no,
you
that,
left
that,
early.
that was
I
for.
was-
I
San
think I
Pancho.
think I went
That was
over
for
to
San
the
Pancho.
loft. Was it?
Yeah,
It was,
we
yeah.
all opened together.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've never like headlined. So
Well, you know what I meant.
I-
He opened
I-
before you.
okay, yeah, but he's
Okay.
gonna watch this podcast.
I was trying to make you seem a lot cooler.
He's gonna watch this podcast and be like, I ain't open for anybody. What the fuck's Hoodie talking about? I mean, definitely not Blizzy.
Shout out Rude. I feel bad.
Yeah.
We had to cancel on him like twice, so we got to get him on here.
Oh, no.
ASAP.
Shout out to you, homie.
I feel really bad.
I'm not gonna let him
actually.
get his facts fucked up. I
And
got
then
you.
I
I'm
think
gonna laugh. I went to high school with him. I'm gonna laugh at that.
I think
That's
I hit him up
funny.
the third time. He's like, I think I'm gonna be busy for the rest of this month. I'm like, God
Okay,
damn it. I feel so bad.
You went to high school at Austin, so you've been around this shit for a minute then.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't really get into this until we lived in Madison together, and then that's when he got fully introduced to the scene. I mean, we went to Somerset together. We saw
Shout out
Skrillex,
Somerset.
Yeah. Rip,
Somerset's came
rip
up in almost
Somerset.
everyone.
Rip Somerset.
Do you remember what years you went?
Bring Somerset
I
back.
think 2015 and 2016. So
I
it was the
went
year
like
graduated.
Yeah, I went I went the year I graduated. It's like 2015. And then the next 4 years. I might have left early a couple of those years.
Well, I think their
but
last year was 2016. But
are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure because I
I'm
went
pretty
twice.
sure it was at least.
So you might have went before that.
Actually, I think I went before senior year.
Yep.
Then 2015. And I swear to God, I went 4 years in a row. So I think it stopped 2017 or 2018.
It might have, honestly.
I could be wrong, though, too. You might be right.
Well, sorry to call you out like that.
No, that's fine because Somerset was so much fun, but it's also a lot of it's a blur, and it's just combined together.
A blur to
Those
say
blurs.
the least.
How many memories are blurs? How many blurs you got?
Too many.
Too many?
Too many.
Too many gigabytes are being taken up by blurs.
Yeah.
You know when you look at your computer and it's like the other? It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
this many gig is taken up by other. Like, what the fuck is other? Like, it's the blurs. It's the blurs, bro.
No, yeah, that's quite literally my life.
And then I don't know if I heard correctly, but you just had your first performance recently?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I signed up my homie Connor, or his artist name Concord. He just started. He's fresh. He's gonna go somewhere, that's for sure. He's got the drive and the work ethic and the vision. So
Yeah,
that's for sure.
I like how he's like you, and he has this like a name similar to his actual name.
Concord.
That's just tight.
Would you say Concord?
Yeah, Concord.
Yeah.
Concord?
like
Okay.
Conquer almost.
Yeah.
He hit me up, told me that he met this dude named Derek he works with like Antics Productions, I believe it is, and he does production for the Armory and Red Rock sometimes. And he just recently told me at the show that he's gonna do a couple stage takeovers at Base Urban Pine.
Nice.
And so he was throwing an open deck night in Eau Claire. I'm like, oh, this is perfect. I'm gonna sign up and I'm gonna throw myself in front of a crowd for the first time. I've
Mhm.
done a lot of underground shows, birthday
I've
parties.
seen you play a lot of basement shows for sure.
A lot.
So you know how it is then. You weren't
yeah.
nervous. Maybe a little nervous, but nothing like the new nerves, you know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was pretty nervous. I was telling people I wasn't, trying to trick myself, but as soon as I got up there, yeah, the nerves definitely hit.
Did you play that Halloween party with
Mhm.
Broman in
with Broman?
Wait, which
I
party
think
is
he
this?
was there.
Which party
he
is
was
this?
supposed to play with me. He played for about half an
But
hour,
no,
and then I
I'm
played for
talking.
like 4
I'm talking
hours
like
straight.
I'm talking like really early on. Like I had met you, but I didn't really know you. It was back when you had your long hair.
Yeah,
And whose house was that? Nicole's, I think.
Nicole, and Katie.
Yes.
Yep.
Hmm.
So that's actually the reason why I wear the gas mask and how Dayngr came about.
Because weren't you wearing a mask that night too?
So it was during like COVID times, heavy COVID times, and
Like 2020.
it was
fresh.
like pretty controversial to even go to this party. So we were
Yup.
like, all right, we're
We're still going.
and we still went, but our take was me and my friend group that came with, and I rented a bunch of speakers, I rented lights, I
Mhm.
went the full mile.
It was a
with
great
it.
Halloween party
It
for
was
sure.
it was the kicking off of my career, I think.
Perfect.
Because I was like, yeah, I want to do this for the rest of my life.
I'm glad I was there for that. That's
Yeah,
great.
it was awesome. But we had trying to take precautions for COVID in the hands, and I had this idea that I wanted to get like full painters, like the white suits,
Some
and
Breaking
then
Bad shit.
gloves and like tape up and like almost like we're in a quarantine zone, and we all had gas masks and like masks, and I had a gas mask, and that was the first time I threw on a gas mask for the show, and then it got really hot. I had to take it off, but as shows do, especially when I'm headbanging.
Well, there
hard,
was a lot
so-
of people in that basement, bro. I remember that Halloween
Mm.
Dude,
party.
I got to see some clips of this night because I'm getting FOMO.
I'm sure we could. I'm sure.
I
we
think there
could-
was even the worst was I think someone faked like cops are here and like
Oh yeah,
I
that'd
think
be
like a
turned
lot of us
out.
had like candy and shit. So like I
Fucking-
started like going out the back door, and then all of a sudden everyone's like, and I was like, oh, so they were faking.
You're getting ready to run.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I think everybody was.
Felony in my pocket.
But yeah, that was I think that was important though. It made people like really appreciate what was going on, because
Mhm.
after that we were like, all right, we're turning it back up, 'cause
Yeah.
the host came down and was like, you need to turn this down cops might be coming, but somebody just
Which, to be
drunk.
honest, there's no way, because that house is perfect. It had so much space in between other houses. It's like it was like a now then, I think, almost Andover.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
And they got permission from every single neighbor because it was supposed to be outside.
Mm-hmm. It was kind of cold though.
It very
one of those
cold.
Halloweens.
We set up outside, and then it was like 15 degrees out, and it started snowing. And I was like, no one's gonna come out here and dance. I got permission from them to throw it in the basement, and so I quick put that together.
Like,
and
please,
Please don't make us turn up outside.
I had quite a few people come up to me and tell me like, "Hey man, that was so awesome. It felt like a real show. That was awesome, dude. Like, when are you gonna play again?" Like, and that was like
the start.
Yeah, I want to do this for a job. Like,
That's
I
always
love
a good way to feel after a show. People coming up to
Absolutely.
you, telling you like there's such a how much of a vibe it was.
Yeah.
Did you play any of your original music during that set?
During that set, I didn't have any original.
No. When did you
music,
just start?
no.
When did you start putting out originals?
So about, I want to say like 8 months after that. So my math is probably totally wrong on that, but
the timeline's not adding up.
I might be tripping, but I swear you played something like over a Peep song that night. I might be tripping.
your guess is as good as mine. I
I think you
lit.
did, because then I was convinced that you love Lil Peep, and then like when we became cool, I was like,
Oh, I think I did. I probably played like Ben's Truck or something.
yeah, or
'cause
something
song
like that.
goes
Which
hard.
you were like, I like Lil Peep, but I'm not like obsessed. And I'm like, oh well, I'm obsessed, but
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. I probably did. I think I was vibing with Lil Peep.
I mean,
more at
he's
that
he's
time.
a Halloween type
Dude,
of
yeah.
artist
Yeah.
for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, I definitely had like a Halloween. The first half hour of my playlist. I didn't plan on playing that long. Broman, shout out Bad Intentions.
Why'd you say it like that?
Because he left me in the dust.
That, and also I've been trying to get Jake on
love
here
you.
for so long, and he refuses to come on.
Bro, man, get your
fuck you,
ass on
Roman.
here, bro.
We
I don't
tried-
even know who you are, bro. I got to meet you now.
Yeah, we tried getting him on the open deck too, but he was a little bit too late. But we'll get him onto a show once
It'll happen.
he's comfortable.
Yeah.
I'm glad I waited till I was comfortable. I had a lot of people telling me to start
I
playing.
mean, you're never
shows
gonna be
and-
ready for.
Well,
a lot of
right.
big shows.
You're
but
ready
you
when you're
can-
ready.
You can be more ready than when you're not ready. at
100%,
all. Yeah,
100%.
Like,
that's-
I feel like
but
ultimately
I
that,
agree.
that comes down to like who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone's always
Mhm.
got their best intention for you as an artist,
Right.
but what
Bad
they
intention.
don't understand at what level you're at with yourself.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
But it's also like
It's also important to have friends like that, though. You should be pushing your boundaries.
Mhm.
That's
It's-
that much is important for growth.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of artists have self-confidence issues, and even when you got a bunch of people telling you, "Oh, you're awesome, you're amazing, you need to start playing shows, you're gonna blow up," if you don't feel it inside yet, like
It's not gonna reflect.
people are gonna tell.
Yeah, you're gonna be able to see
It's
it.
just like that baking of love thing. People can really tell
Yeah.
on a subconscious level when someone cares about something, and if they're confident and if they're ready, and
Yep,
yeah, with that
exactly. Like
aspect.
your set, your last set. How much confidence and love did you put into that?
A lot.
And
I ever since I was told I was going to be playing, I practiced for like 2 weeks before that every day, just throwing it on. And thankfully, I don't have much what's the word? I don't have much experience on CDJs. We were playing on an XDJ, but
yeah, okay.
thankfully all my cue points loaded in, everything was great, but
Yep.
I was jogging the wheel,
Yeah.
and every time I would jog to a cue point, it would bounce back to the
To
beginning.
the queue, yeah, the
And I
original
was
queue,
like,
yeah.
What
Dude,
the fuck?
and-
I don't know. And so the entire set, as soon as I press play, figure that out. So I have to, show goes on. You gotta adapt.
Yeah.
I was.
You got to learn on the fly.
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't learn on the fly, because like, okay, so I got another question after this, because you said you practice on XDJs.
I practice on DDJs.
DDJ.
So like
DDJ
a
what?
Smaller.
Yeah,
because
because
400.
I got the 200. 200 to the
Oh.
400. I don't know which one exactly, but I got a small one too.
It's small.
But
It's
how
like-
how often do you play on CDJs?
I haven't played an official show on CDJs. I've played one basement or like house show on CDJs one time, and I did pretty good. Thankfully, his settings were, but yeah, this is what I was getting to on the open deck night. I'm playing the set, and I don't know how to work this thing. I'm comfortable
it's
with
just
mine,
different.
you
Yeah,
know.
it's different.
And so every time I would have to cue it at the point, I would have to hit the hot cue and time it. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
yep.
And then I would adjust a little bit based on it. But it wasn't like, to me, it wasn't perfect. Everybody else said it was fine.
Yeah.
I didn't mess up at all that you could hear.
Yeah.
But
But
one
you
time
could
I was,
hear it though.
I could
Well,
hear it.
yeah, as a DJ, you know what the fuck's going on.
And you're just nitpicking yourself
Yeah.
so often. But
I think there was a big group of our friends that popped up too, right?
oh man, that was the most people that
I felt bad that I couldn't pop out, but
yeah, shout out Reboot Social for hosting it. Shout out Derek for throwing it on. It was an amazing time. I brought about 30 plus of my friends and family. Like, it felt like a family reunion.
I got big
honestly.
FOMO for sure.
And it was lit.
What's the biggest difference you see going from your DDJ to a CDJ?
Honestly, just experience. Like, I had no problem working it. It was just like not being comfortable with that many buttons and knowing how to do it. And then after the set, I was talking to Derek. I'm like, how every time I jog it, it goes right back to the beginning. And he was like, oh, you can press down on the CDJ to cue it, and that's how you get it to. Like, I didn't know that the individual jogs push down.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah,
actually, you
right.
just put me onto that right now.
Yeah, it's wild. And I was like, thank you so much. And man, that show was so awesome. He asked me to back to back with him because he's also thank you, Brandy.
Shout out Brandy.
Shout out to
My
Brandy.
fiance. Love you. Appreciate you.
Could I do another old fashioned?
Yeah.
Please.
One more tequila Sprite, please.
Thanks, Brandy.
Thank you.
Hey, one more time, I just want to give a real big shout out to
100%.
to you guys. Hospitality's been crazy, bro. It's such a beautiful building that we're in.
Prohibition, living room, Manny's Steakhouse, Foshay Tower, come through. We're actually about to, I'm pretty sure, release a new happy hour menu where it's ridiculous prices, like $4 Mac burger, $4 wings, like $4 drinks. There's like tiers to it. You can get like an $8 double cheeseburger too.
And even the scenery, dude.
Foe for foe at the Foshay, baby.
Maybe.
Oh shit,
dude.
We'll bring it up. But
Even
hey, bro,
like
you
me,
heard it here. You heard it first.
Like, I almost got lost coming back from taking a whiz.
What do you mean lost?
Because,
dude,
it's
a circle.
I know, but the fact that like we're here, I'm like, this is so sick.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful place.
Views are immaculate.
I'm used to, recording in my old apartment. Like,
I'm used to recording in a closet.
We out here. Big step up. It makes you feel so much more professional
Yeah,
being in a
it's
different
great.
setting. That's actually feels
I
good.
appreciate it a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have music on your SoundCloud that has well over 10K plays. One of them about to hit 30K. How's your music production journey been, and what's helped you get to the point you made it to?
So I guess I'll start off with why I started producing, because I knew I wanted to be a DJ.
Mm-hmm.
And some DJs make it without actually producing their own music. But I didn't want to be that guy. I wanted to put myself out there, and when you produce something like that, you make a piece of art. It's
putting a piece of your soul into
exactly
something.
You're putting yourself out in the world for other people to enjoy or to not enjoy.
Yeah, no, that's totally true. Yeah,
but so it's almost 2 years ago now. Or is it almost 3 now? Man,
Time
whiskey's
is
hitting.
well, not only that, but dude, my sense of time has been so off.
They have a name for that.
The older I get,
they call it time blindness.
It's true. Well, because even I was thinking, what did I do this Friday? Which all I really did was me and my homegirl got fast food, went home and chilled.
This last Friday feels like last weekend.
Oh,
yeah.
Absolutely. But yeah, like 2 years ago now. It is 2 years. I separated my shoulder snowboarding at Afton, and that was like on God, my calling. I was gonna be sitting at home doing absolutely nothing.
Mm-hmm.
This is my time to sit down and watch professionals produce and learn and teach myself. I'm all YouTube taught.
YouTube University.
Mm-hmm. Yep. sat down and learned and started making some music. And then eventually, about 7 months after that injury, I released my first song, Dreams. And then about a month and a half after that, oh no, more like 3 months after that, I released my second song, Insomnia, which is my most popular song. I actually recorded my buddy Andre's guitar. Shout out Minty Hippo, his band, Andre and Elena. We
Shots
love
go
you.
out to y'all.
Minty.
They are awesome band. God, I love them. But I was like, let's make a song, dude. Like, bring over your guitar. He brought over his acoustic guitar. I recorded him in my living room, and I made a song in about like a week, and it ended up being my most popular song, almost a 30K now. And I've done zero promotion. I just played the SoundCloud algorithm.
dropped
Just
it.
straight
Dropped
talent.
Yeah,
Just straight
wow.
bangers, bro. Is what it is.
Awesome.
Just a heater.
I mean, yeah. So I guess people are saying that.
No,
but
it is, bro. Like something dude, I'm a real picky guy when it comes to music. And and a lot of it is just due to the respect I have for music. I'm not gonna sit here, listen to something that's not good and tell someone it's good, you know?
Right.
But like your sound comes through so nicely, your samples, your sound design is that I can hear each layer, and at the same time each layer goes together perfect.
Thank
I
you.
could tell that I could just tell by listening to it that you put a lot of time into mixing and mastering. So let's talk about a little bit more of the technical side of production.
I'll try to.
You sound design everything or most things.
So right now, I'm really trying to fast track my way into making this a career. So I use a lot of splice samples for ambience and melodies and stuff like that. I'll switch up the melodies and do my own tweaking on them, and
Right.
based off what it calls for. So my buddy Serge, who's also a producer, artist manager, he's really talented as well. We just hung out the other day. He was telling me, like, like when you start making a song, it starts to become not what you want in the song. It starts to become, what does this song need?
Okay. Yep.
And
Yeah.
so in that aspect, it's that's what I've been trying to get to, is like, okay, what does it need now? What's the next thing I need to work on? But yeah, I use a lot of samples. For Insomnia, I recorded my own samples for the guitar. And that worked out really nicely.
So you play guitar?
I don't. Andre does.
Okay. You just recorded it. Okay.
I just produced everything else. But yeah, I'm trying to fast track my way into this. So I'm gonna use a bunch of samples, bunch of working smarter. And
Yeah, no, and that's a good way to go about it, because I watched this Diplo interview, and Diplo was talking about, it's not how you get the sounds, it's what you do with the sounds. And that's a real big thing a lot of producers lose themselves in. They think that just because you use a sample that it's all of a sudden not an original piece of work, and that's totally not true. You know what I'm saying?
I think a lot of people that think that are kind of like backseat producers that don't really
they just want to talk shit.
Yeah,
they just want to. Yeah,
they've listened to a lot. They
know who you are.
They're well knowledgeable.
They're already in the scene.
They're
like big time in the scene.
Yeah,
well knowledgeable about many songs. Most of the time, just can like ID a song like that, But it's like you're not actually doing it, So it's a lot of people are doing that.
I also saw this quote, and it's irrelevant, but it fits in the situation. It's like, anyone who's ahead of you is never gonna like criticize you. Only the people that criticize you are like trying to get to where you are.
Absolutely.
So like, if you find a great mentor, they're never gonna be on that type of time with you.
They're gonna try to get you better. They're gonna give you. That's just like what you were saying about like listening to music, and like if it's bad, you're not gonna give them good criticism.
Yeah, it's
or
disrespectful not only to them but to the game.
Exactly.
They're gonna put out trash because I told them it was good.
Exactly.
How dare you, Blizzy?
Yeah, bro, you should be grateful I do something like that.
Yeah.
I meant more. I meant more like if you like approved it.
Oh yeah, if I approved something that's not good, then it wasn't me.
Yeah, and that goes against everything we do on this podcast too.
Yeah, that's what I try to do, but I think I'm too nice about it sometimes when people are like, "Oh, what do you think?" But I'm starting to get better at like, this is what you should do instead. This is like how you should.
There's a good way to say shit.
I think giving notes is.
It's not what you say; it's how you.
It's how you say it. Yeah,
absolutely. It's a very good philosophy.
And when did you start dropping music on SoundCloud again? Pretty sure you said it, but
so like a year and a half ago now was when I dropped Dreams. That was in October, I believe. And then about a year ago now, or a year and like a couple months, that was an Insomnia hit. So yeah, it's doing really well.
Yeah.
I had a small label hit me up on SoundCloud. Shout out the Electric Movement.
Shouts
I'm
out
still
to
working on
y'all.
a song for you guys, I promise. I'm just very busy all the time, and I care about my music. I want it
Yeah.
to be amazing. I
Well,
want it to
that's-
be perfect, damn near.
That's
So
also why I was amped to like have you on, because I think I started asking you about coming to the pod like a year ago.
yeah,
And you were like really smart, and you were like, give me a second. Like,
mhm.
so that's why it makes being here today like so much better, because
It is.
you
'cause
put
I-
out some music and
yeah,
played
I-
a show.
it,
and
it definitely worked out because I'm actually I think I waited because I was like, I'm working on this EP right now. Give me a second so I can finish it, and then I can kind of promote the EP.
like you played it very smart.
But
and
EP's been out. I'm not really gonna promote it, but check
That's
it out.
alright. We'll
So,
promote it.
It's awesome.
You heard
I
it
love
here.
it. I very first song, Wasteland, made with again Adler, Captain Smokey J. He just had him whispered in a mic, and
The
I had this
Captain.
vision of a good EP I want to put out, like a theme. A lot of my music is very like cinematic, I want to say, because I do eventually want to work in cinema and TV shows. I want to make, because I mean, it just comes to me. I love that shit. It's
Mhm.
just creating like world building almost. So it's like, man, like you just get captivated by not even by vocals. I do love putting vocals. I try to put vocals in every single one of my songs
Mhm.
because I'm really trying to appeal to everybody, people that don't even listen to EDM, you know, because I started off with good instrumentals, good beats, and then good, amazing vocals, and then heavy bass. I love to headbang, so
Yeah.
I'm trying to make other people that don't normally headbang get into
Get
it.
into the
And-
headbang.
Mhm.
It's always why I love like hanging out at your guys' house too, because there was always, if we weren't playing music in the basement, we were upstairs playing like some kind of like game, or even just watching like good entertainment. Honestly,
Always listening to music though, for the most part.
yeah, 100%.
These are damn good drinks.
I know. I'm like ready for my
They're
second.
flowing.
So if you could, I asked this question to these guys earlier. Kind of curious to see what you would answer. If you could interview anybody dead or alive, who would it be?
Man. Honestly, there's a couple people.
Yeah,
two
you could
people.
name like top 3.
Yeah.
So my first thought was Skrillex. I just watched his Grammy interview with somebody, and I just loved the way that he worded things and
That
his
Grammy interview is dope.
philosophy.
That was when he won that. It was in Hungary or something in Nice Sprites.
No, it was the most recent one
Oh,
for
the
Quest
recent
for
one.
Fire, I
Okay.
believe.
They're talking about the first one.
And no, yeah, and he was so influential without even like trying. He was just like, it's like the law of attraction, essentially. Like you attract what you want. It's not just gonna pop up someday. Like you just
Yeah.
gotta keep working and attract it, and then
And this is Skrillex, right?
mhm.
Do you guys like the song "Breaking a Sweat"?
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
Okay, do you know the ending part where Jim Morrison's getting interviewed? It's like at the end of the song,
I
and he's
remember that.
predicting EDM music like 30 years prior.
Mm,
That part like always blows my mind.
yeah.
It's like somebody like Jim Morrison talking about the future of music, and he's like, it's gonna be
He hit or what?
very much about electronics and discs and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Which-
I mean, music is ever evolving. It's everlasting, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to leave a legacy. I'm trying to be known in this world and not be somebody who just sits on the sidelines, I guess.
Yeah, bro.
But-
There's this quote, and it's the first lyric of "Pound Cake" by Drake. I don't know where the quote is originally from,
yeah,
but it's like, only the good shit is gonna last. All the other stuff is here today and gone tomorrow.
yep,
So like,
exactly.
that literally fits perfectly.
And I love that whole
Yeah.
Nothing Was the Same. That album
Yeah.
wreaked havoc
Hell
on my
yeah.
high school life.
Dude.
Bro, so many people got roasted, bro. They would like edit. You know how like it's just his head in the clouds,
Oh
like,
yeah.
So like we would like obviously edit everyone's head into that shit.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like just being on some bullshit.
Oh yeah.
I'd be
yeah.
honored to be edited in that though.
Dude,
Drake's so
I'm gonna
good.
do it for you.
Some
though.
lover boy, lover boy,
On it.
the heartbroken lover boy. Yeah. Who else, man?
Yeah, the second person that I immediately thought of, I would love to get interviewed by Nardwar, but I also want to get, have enough money where I could get some dirt on him and I can get some questions
some
on
shit
him.
out.
I
I want to
didn't
interview Nardwar and be that person where like I blow his mind,
Yeah.
about the information.
I didn't
know,
realize
you
how
know?
long he's been around.
Oh, so long. He's
been
a
a
legend, dude.
like he's interviewed like Nirvana and shit like that.
Oh
Like,
shit.
he's been around for a long time.
So many artists and even non-artists actually.
Thanks, Brandy.
Thank you. No. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
So there's that Nardwar.
Come to living room.
Check this
The
out, man.
Prohibition.
It's such an awesome spot.
For
It's
real.
amazing.
They're like a little cocktail mixer.
Yeah, you get what you pay for here. It's an experience.
So
it really is.
So earlier, okay, I'll ask you this question after. But you were saying Nardwar.
I mean, man, what else do I got to say about that man? He is so
He
talented.
blows my mind with how much shit he knows about people.
And the thing that sticks out to me with Nardwar is he picked something. He picked something he cared about, a character that he cared about. Like that he puts on this persona, and he stuck with it. You have to stay consistent, and his consistency paid off. He interviewed so many famous people. He's famous now. It's just he's such an inspiration, honestly.
And do you
just in
think too,
general.
like
'Cause a lot of
he
people are
keeps the
off-put.
act up? Like, because do you really think he acts like that, like in real life?
No.
Maybe a little bit.
I've seen.
A little bit.
I think he.
If
might
you've been doing it for
try.
that long,
I
but
think he might try, but like I think I've seen a video where he
I bet
does
he's chill.
go out of character.
Yeah.
but like I'm here for that man in general. I
Mhm.
want to pick his brain.
Yeah.
I want to because just the way his delivery, everything. And like so many people that he interviewed has gotten so awkward because they're not used to it.
I think like Lil Uzi like has left an interview
Oh,
because he's like,
he
how
did.
the
He
hell
ran
do you
away.
know
Yeah.
that? Who have you been talking to?
Yeah. I remember an interview with Kendrick Lamar, and he was like, Kendrick Lamar looks at his homies, and he was like, kind of
He kind of sussed out.
put. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
like,
Honestly,
okay,
I feel-
that's not right.
I feel like once you crack the code, it'd be kind of easy. Like I'd start on
Mhm.
Facebook. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then I started working backwards from there.
I just bet that he
and then I'd look at tag photos.
he talks to like very close people to them.
Close people that
Probably.
he's not close, that the artist is not close with anymore.
yeah,
That's
I think that's why it's so much
Yeah.
more
And
surprising.
then he probably also pays them off, which is a great idea to
Yeah.
have them not tell the artists that
Yeah.
he did talk to them.
Because it's probably
You know?
shit like that these artists have put behind them
Mhm.
to like forget about.
Yeah,
So
like,
like
I don't
when he
wanna bring
brings it
that
up,
shit
they're
up
like,
yet.
"What the fuck? How do you know that?"
Hey, bro, you farted in middle school. Like, hey, bro, chill out.
Do you remember that?
Bro, you
Yeah.
dated that ugly girl. I'm
Been
playing.
there.
And then yeah,
Right,
he
girl.
also does this thing where he gives gifts. Like he will
Yeah.
he's like, yeah, I'm begging for this interview, but like also he gives these great gifts
Yeah.
that have everything to do with that interview.
He
and
gave
it's just
Snoop
so
Dogg.
smart. Yeah, old stuff. and
Old
Snoop Dogg
ass
was all over
VHS
it.
tape or some
Pretty
shit.
sure he's done like 3 interviews with Snoop Dogg. and-
Snoop. Such a great idea.
Yeah.
It's crazy how much knowledge is out here if you just know what to look for. A lot
Yep.
of people watch it for entertainment, but when you watch the deeper like purpose behind it, it's like literally the cheat code.
Absolutely. I'd love to pick his brain. That's man. I'd love to pick a lot of people's brains, honestly. Just learn.
That's why I like doing this shit, dude.
Yeah.
Honestly,
yeah, doing a podcast.
Because
is
I don't,
definitely-
yeah, like I've been around music my whole life, but I don't make music, so it's cool to pick people's brain that make music, and also we don't even interview a bunch of people that mostly it's music people, but we've had like legit artists on here, people that just rip dirt bikes, kind of sportier people, and
Hey, man,
military people, even.
Strippers.
Sometimes you
We've had
gotta
strippers on here.
nice. Sometimes you gotta let go
Yeah.
and just let honestly let God take it and
100%.
and trust in the process, and you will get what you ask for. Because honestly, I think we're all gods. I think we all have the ability to
We're all our own
destroy
god.
life. We all are gods in our own way.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's just wonderful when you trust in the process and trust in yourself mostly.
Yeah.
Because then,
Yeah.
It becomes a matter of effort.
yeah, I watched this podcast yesterday actually, and it was this dude talking to somebody. I honestly don't remember that. It was like a mindfulness podcast or something. But he was like, so trying to teach the guy he's interviewing a lesson, I guess. It was like, all right, so look around the room right now, find something white. All right. All right, now like tell me how many things you saw were white, you know.
Mhm.
And
There's
it's
3.
like, right, yeah. Right. And then it's just like, all right, now look around and tell me how many things are brown.
Hella.
1.
Right.
Sorry.
That was
Sorry.
perfect. That was perfect.
Nice. But then it's just like, well, okay, when you take that into account, your brain, whatever you're looking for, like when you're told to look for white things, you're going to categorize things that aren't actually white too, like that are, you know, like
'Cause they stick out?
off-white, because they stick out.
Yeah.
And it's just like when you're
Uh-huh.
looking for things that are brown, you're gonna classify beige. You're gonna so it's
Mhm.
like it's whatever you put your mind to and focus on, you're going to help yourself out in the future because you are in that mindset.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's like it really opened my eyes. Like it's all about what you're thinking about consciously.
Is it almost kind of like too like
Constantly.
how we grew up like in high school and they're like you have to go to college, but also like other options would
Oh,
pop
yeah.
up because they stick out.
Well,
Is
it's
that
kind of like he was
kinda-
saying. Once you focus on something, you start pointing out the differences, and it
Mhm.
makes you focus on it that much more. So
Mhm.
I would say that almost,
Well, because dude,
They-
I
they-
really wanted to go to college.
it's like
but I
forced.
didn't.
Yeah.
I
Like,
think a lot of us can agree with that. The only reason I went to college is, well, mostly because I was told to.
Yep.
yeah,
And secondly, I wanted to play college soccer.
Word.
And so I
Get that.
did. I mean, I helped my team make it to state twice in school history. Ended up making all state. I could do a flip throw in, which is also very,
that's pretty
Bro,
tight.
that's basically, you can
actually.
basically cross that bitch if you're doing that.
I mean, I could throw it like 40 yards, 40 plus
Yeah,
yards.
yeah,
It's
bro.
basically like a corner kick when I threw
Yeah.
it in. And
Dangerous.
so that helped. It didn't help at all in college, let me tell you.
Just a whole new level.
I won't
Oh,
even
yeah.
name the college I went to, but it
Well, you got to think
Did
too.
not
Once,
have a good
once you
time.
get to college, it's like everyone was the best player from their high school. Like, so I can't even
Mhm.
imagine going like pro because it's everyone like
Right.
from the best college. Probably, I would assume.
Hold up. So we got Skrillex, we got Narwhal.
Nardwar.
Who's your Nardward? Who's your third?
Man, a third. Honestly, I didn't have a third pop up into my head.
Dead or alive? Don't
Honestly-
even got to be in the music. Nothing. Could be anybody.
Man. My immediate thought, and I go with my gut a lot, you should trust in your gut. Your subconscious does wonders for you. My immediate thought was Christopher Nolan, the director. I love Inception. I love Memento. I love Tenet. I loved Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer is a little lackluster in my opinion. I thought there'd be like more bomb stuff, but I guess that was their whole,
And-
know.
And so he directed
thing.
Inception too, which is the
Oh yeah,
the
and
Leonardo
all
movie.
all the original Batman, not original, but like Batman Begins, Batman Returns,
Okay,
Dark
yeah,
Knight,
yeah,
you know.
which is great.
Mm-hmm. And God, I'm missing one other movie that I really like by him, but his delivery on everything, I just love his style. I love his music and everything. It just hits home to me. It just makes me feel like I'm there. Just delivers so good. And because I, like I said, I want to work in cinematics one day. It's big inspiration, and I just love his ideas on everything, even Inception, just like the layers.
It's mind-blowing.
It is, yeah. And it's just when you that's what I try to do with my music too, and just like my persona is like creating this mystery. You know what I'm saying? Because like when you like read a good book or you watch a good movie and it's kind of open ended, humans love open ended.
Because they want to find out the end, but they can't.
Cliffhangers.
Exactly.
Literally.
And humans just don't like things that are black and white. Just like, oh, everything happened. No, humans love to fill in the blanks.
Yes.
Like
The complicated nature of aspects.
Because even me, like, I'm not a huge scary movie person, but the scary movies like where like everyone dies. I'm like, okay, well,
we saw that.
fine movie, but I've seen that a million times and they all died. No one got away. There's no maybe a second or trilogy to this.
Yeah.
Lame.
So to add on to that, like it's not really it. I mean, to some people it's probably a really scary movie. It's kind of scary to me, but Contagion.
I don't know if
Have you
I've
guys
Never seen it.
It's a movie about like the epidemic or pandemic.
Like the modern
terrible
or the
one.
general one.
It's a pandemic,
Yeah.
but it's a
Life-threatening
it's
disease.
like the one where this virus started out in Asia, I think it was, and then it went worldwide and it's killing a bunch of people. But a lot of
it's
this
like
was
a zombie movie.
not really though. It's more about just like mass pandemic.
They don't.
A lot of
turn
people
into
dying.
Wait, is this where they get the virus and they kill themselves?
No, I
that's
don't
not
think
it
so.
either.
They're just trying to find a cure right away. A lot of it was filmed in Minneapolis, and it was
Crazy.
They had they filmed in the Armory actually too.
Damn.
And I think, oh man, I gotta look it up who the main actor is in Contagion, but she killed it as the main actor. But spoiler alert, if you haven't watched this movie,
Spoilers. Look away. Turn it off.
Gwyneth Paltrow plays the main actor in it, but she's based out of Minneapolis. She's like a scientist or a epidemiologist. I don't know. I'm terrible with this shit.
That's
but
all right. That's all
Sounds
right.
right. I don't know what this should be, but it
Right.
sounds right.
Something like that. She's a main character in it, and she goes through all these trials and tribulations of like trying to figure out what's going on, how can we fix it, and then again, spoiler alert, she dies. And she's the main character, and and that's just the realism of what would happen,
In a real life
COVID.
situation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of like COVID, and like,
just because you're the main character don't mean shit.
and that's to build off of what Hoodie was saying. Everybody dies, like that's
now we're getting morbid.
and it's like kind of like Game of Thrones almost. Ned Stark. You love him. Are they really gonna kill off this main character? Last episode,
Hell yeah. You know what
chops
character?
off his head. It was awesome.
You know what character really threw me off when they killed off?
In
It
Game
was
of
in
Thrones?
Walking Dead. No, it
Oh,
was in
Walking
Walking
Dead.
Dead. When they killed his fucking wife and the zombie like ate her ass.
Oh yeah,
And then like didn't the kid die too or some shit?
I think he lives for quite a bit actually.
Like when his wife died, I was like, damn, that's crazy, bro.
I stopped after like a few seasons.
Yeah, I stopped watching it too, but we were just talking about crazy deaths, and I didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, no,
you know what I'm saying?
that one definitely hit home too.
So it sounds to me like you're into like cinema and film,
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not like
but you're obviously interested by it.
I care about it,
Yeah.
but I'm not like, oh, I can name any movie. I can name who directed it. I can name the act.
I could
I'm
just
not smart
tell
in
by
that
like
aspect.
the stuff you've been describing. You're kind of more into like a certain scene, like a certain part of film. Like more of that gory, dark, mysterious type of vibe.
Dangerous?
Do you feel like that reflects into who you are?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now that you're talking about it, I don't really think about that much. It's definitely. I mean, I have this vibe going with Dayngr though, where it's like wasteland apocalypse type theme. I'm like a survivor. I got my gas mask. Eventually every show I want to do, I want to have a different gas mask.
I saw the
Badass.
mask on
You
some
should have one
videos
with
at
the
your
bong.
show. It looked really tight.
Have one with a bong on it.
A bong. I actually do have a gas mask. It's a backup, and it is for a bong. That's for sure.
Wear that to the show.
I mean, hey, it's got like the big hole for the bong,
And then do one with a dildo if you're cool with it.
Oh
No, we're cutting that out.
Yeah, definitely cutting that out.
Wow.
I got a question though. Favorite festival?
Maybe if we go to Ground Zero. Maybe we go to Ground Zero.
Dude, I've
actually been planning to
Definitely cut
my
those
girlfriend's
out,
been telling me
that's
about
for
Ground
sure.
Zero. I'm like, what the fuck is up with this Ground Zero? It's like bonded shit. But
I've heard nothing but great things about Ground Zero.
well, no, Molly was like, I never got involved. I just go there because it's just crazy shit.
Yeah, I want to check it out,
But yeah. So favorite show and favorite festival you've ever been to, and you can name multiple.
Man.
It doesn't have to be a specific. It could be a few of them.
favorite festival. I do want to say Bass Ribbon Pines, just because it's home, it's headbangy, it's everything that I want out of a festival. I mean, mostly because it's home, though.
Dude, I have to agree with you. I grew up frolfing there.
Yep, same. That's another big reason.
So like the fact that there's a festival going on, I'm like, dude, I grew up like senior year of high school just frolfing here and hanging out and doing the thing. And the fact that like Hesh and Bomber are here performing, this is amazing.
Yep.
And then we went golfing the next day.
I missed that year, honestly, and I'm pissed about it. But
no, you were there just this last year.
It was just it was Hesh and Bomber.
Yep. I think
weren't they there the year before too, though?
I think so. I only went there the 1 year, and I only went there for one day. I think you guys were the whole weekend.
Was it you that dabbed him up?
Yeah,
golf cart?
Dude, that was so sick. Hesh just drove by like in a golf cart, and I was like, Hesh. He's like smoking a blunt. I was like, dude.
Naturally.
And it's like midday, like Bass Ribbon. So like, I'm feeling pretty good. Been doing some things.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's just my reality right now.
Right. Yeah.
Not to sound like a complete fanboy, but I was fanboy
there. I definitely want to play there. I'm really hoping they hit me back. The deadline's approaching soon. I believe it's April 1st. There,
and then
is their last. But
were you always into EDM, or did that take a while?
Oh, always, man. The very first thing that got me into EDM was YouTube artist. His name's Renard, and it was very super fat. I don't even know how to describe it. I'm sure there is a genre to it. I'm terrible at genres. It took me like a couple years to understand what rhythm was, but that was back in high school.
I'm still trying to figure out.
No,
all
rhythm
the
is
genres
wonky,
of EDM.
bro.
I mean,
that
rhythm
is like wah wah wah.
Rhythm's that
wah,
high
wah.
knee, big stepper.
It's that wonky shit. Dubstep is that. Pwah, pwah, pwah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Deep dub.
I mean, music is all subjective. That's the
wop,
crazy
wop,
part.
wop.
People are making their own subgenres all the time and blending. I mean, that's what Skrillex does. That's why Quest for Fire was so amazing.
Skrillex is different though, bro.
Like, built different.
So like, I remember when he released what were the Moon by Power and what was the second one he released with that one? It was a two project thing. It was Moon by Power and
Is it Reggae Bomb?
No. If you search Moon by Power, you'll find the other one. But both of those songs are bangers, and it's like a blend of everything in EDM.
Oh yeah. Fuji Opener.
Fuji Opener is nuts, bro.
Yep. I remember when he released that.
Dude. And then like those songs are great.
Obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, damn near every song that Skrillex makes is great. Obviously, there's some songs I don't like.
I mean, you're not gonna love everything.
Every artist experiments.
Yeah.
Very few artists where I'm like go through a playlist. I'm like, I only liked this amount of songs. I mean, normally it's like, okay, I like this song, and then every other like 2 or 3.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to go for with my music. Actually, too, is like when somebody listens to one song, I want them to check me out, and because I remember going back in the day when I was checking out other people's music, I would listen to a song, just radio or shuffle or whatever, and I'd be like, damn, this fucking dude is amazing, or girl. Yep. And I was just go through their playlist and I'll be like, man, they're kind of like mixing it up a lot. Like I want something exactly like I listen to.
I think too they're trying to connect with every genre or every like type of vibe of people that like listen to music.
Right. And
you know what I mean?
Personally, I think that's not the way to go until you've made it.
Established.
Until you've got that huge following.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to stay consistent with my dubstep.
Yep.
I mean, I released a kind of like a drum and bass, kind of like a UK garage, but it's still like dubstep, like old school dubstep song. But I'm trying to stay consistent, that heavy dubstep, heavy bass music, headbangy, and eventually I will get to other genres.
Future out.
But to get known, you just have to stay consistent. You have to keep in one genre and eventually get a big enough following where you can start to blend them a little bit, because you got to appeal to your fans a little bit too. Because
your fans are so important.
And you got different kinds of fans too. You know what I mean? You might have a big group of fans that's heavy dubstep, or even another half that's housey, you know.
Yeah.
Once you
absolutely.
discover who they are, bro, you gotta.
I think
cater
that's
to them a
more
little
so for
bit.
people that do create multiple genres at once, you know. I would like to think that most of my fans are headbangers for sure.
Yeah.
And then every time I try to make something, I'm not only trying to appeal to them personally, mostly I'm trying to appeal for myself. Because
Yeah.
if I
You gotta-
enjoy it
yeah.
thoroughly, that's what my fans are looking
And
for.
I tell people that all the time, bro. Like,
Mhm.
I'm like, dude, why are you DJing music you don't actually listen to?
Yeah, that's
Like, they're like, oh, because I had to fill up my set. Dude, if you're playing music that you don't actually like or don't actually listen to, what makes you think your fans are going to
Dude,
like
the
it?
problem is
Yeah.
though, I've
Yeah.
heard a lot of successful DJs say that they don't like the music they play, but they make really
I'm
They
just-
do,
good.
and it can work out.
It can,
Anything
but
can happen in this world for real.
like I'm
That's
saying,
just-
like we were talking about when you put love into something, if you fucking
That's the
DJ
difference.
every song you like, every song in
Yeah.
your set is a song you fuck with, it's going to be that much
Or
of a better
also,
set.
it might be more of a thing of I liked it back then, but now that people are playing it, I'm like, turn that shit off. It's garbage because they thought what they were doing back then was whack, but in reality, they have a big following from it.
Yeah, and what we were talking about earlier, it's not up for the artist to decide. It's
Ultimately,
not
it's the
at
people
all,
listening
at
to
all.
this shit.
Yeah,
And I tell people that I'm like, I would rather have you repost my music because it's something you enjoyed, not because you know who I am.
you feel like it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
don't repost me because you know me. Repost me because the music made you feel some type of way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I remember getting chills from listening to live sets and just chills in general. And to build off of where my EDM obsession came from. Yeah, Renard, he super very fast, like drum and bass, almost like I don't want to say hard style, but just like super fat. And he's got these sick vocals behind it and that just listening to YouTube videos. But then after that, that led me to Pendulum. And Pendulum, they soul place in my heart. They I actually found that video. I got a butterfly knife.
Triple
And I
backflip.
saw this sick ass video of some dude doing these cool tricks, and I'm like, oh, I need a butterfly knife. I got a trainer, then I got a real one, then I was doing these cool ass tricks. But the video that I first watched was the music they had onto it was I'm pretty sure it was "Girl in the Fire" by Pendulum, and it just rocked my world. And then shortly after that, that was my first time in Breckenridge, Colorado, snowboarding. I was 15, I'm pretty sure, just listening to Pendulum, going down the mountain, just so
Run the mountain with your butter knife.
Yeah,
Fucking
literally that.
badass, bro.
Literally,
Hell
that.
no. Just fucking
Fuck with me.
snowboarding, fucking butterfly knife whipping in the air.
felt like I had the butterfly knife
Dude,
on me,
instantaneous women.
and it's just
God damn, some Rambo shit.
so heavy paced. And then naturally, Skrillex. Right after that, I think before that, Nero had a good place in my music.
Nero is
catalog.
okay, so like I never loved his music, but I never hated it. It was just way too fucking squishy. I don't know.
yeah.
It's like, wow. Like,
Yeah,
bro, what the fuck is that?
They have a
But it sounded
specific
good.
sound. Yeah, I mean the trio, and when they tour, I'm pretty sure it's just one person that goes on tour, unless they're doing like an actual headline tour. Then they'll get all three people up there.
It's a good way to do it.
They have
though.
a vocalist and they have two people that DJ produce. But yeah, I fell in love with their music. Their Welcome to Reality album was just phenomenal. And the thing about that, like Pendulum, Nero, Skrillex, they take their time on their albums, and that's it. And like they barely have like a full catalog compared to other artists, and you can just tell.
But
in
that's
their
okay
music
because they
that-
took their time with it.
yeah, and it's like when you rush work, it's gonna sound exactly like that. It's gonna sound like
But also at the
rushed work.
same time, I feel like sometimes people critique
I don't
their-
know, bro.
their own music
mean,
too
no,
hard.
I don't totally agree
Yeah,
with that.
Like, because it probably sounds really good, but to them, they're like, I could make this little tweak, or it's like, dude, just
You gotta
drop
find,
the
No.
damn
to
thing.
add on to the
Well, it's like
that you gotta find your balance. So
Yeah.
like, dude, no. Well, Okay, let me just say
All
what
right,
I gotta say.
Let's hear it.
Because I don't
here.
totally, I agree with it, but I don't. I think rushed work in a sense of choosing bad sounds is like that's amateur. But rushed work in a sense of you made it fast, I don't think that's a bad thing. Like a lot of people say these songs they make within like 5-10 minutes are some of their best work.
Could be. Absolutely.
Could be, right?
But that's because, in my opinion,
yeah.
they're professional already. As an amateur, I think that
Okay,
if you're
so
rushing.
what the fuck is that one song called? Oh my god.
Everybody go,
Oh,
ayo,
yeah,
ayo.
bitch, yeah, Sheck West, yeah.
Oh yeah, that was an accident. I just heard.
Yeah, and not only that, they made that in like 10 minutes, bro.
Mhm.
And that's what I'm saying. Like,
That is some frat boy shit.
Okay, no, but listen, what I'm trying to say is, bro, like some of
I'm
the
getting really rich.
some of the fucking quickest shit is some of the shit that like you said, music isn't for you. It's for the people listening, right?
You wouldn't expect they'd pop
It's for the
off.
people listening, right? And like, imagine when that drop hits. Yeah, Sheck West, bitch. Really,
I'm getting really
bro,
rich.
that vibe, the energy is so high, bro.
Hard as fuck.
That's what I'm saying, bro. And
Yeah.
like that's what I'm saying. Rush work isn't always a bad thing.
It
So
isn't.
I agree with that for sure. It depends on what type of rushed work it is. So if you're rushing, I mean, I think we're thinking of different things though, like between rushed and fast.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the rushing I'm trying to define is like, oh, I have to get this done. This needs to be done. You know, that's when
Okay.
I think it's not as good. But like, if you can make something fast because you're good at it and doing it fast, and
That's
it
different.
sounds amazing.
That's
it's
different.
Completely different
That's
because like
different. I get
what
it.
me and Tate did, yeah, Perf, when we made our shit, it was fast, you
Mhm.
know, but like we knew what we were doing. That's the thing. And we enjoyed every second. So it's like, all right, on to the next thing. All right, how can we make this sound even better? What do we need to add? Whatever. I don't think that was rushed at all because we had all the time in the world. We just did it fast. So like, yeah, the rushing aspect, it's just like,
I see what you're saying.
you know,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Marshmello just like he
Like
went
to
on
keep
with
it
sudden
mellow.
death. Marshmello went on with sudden death and excision, I'm pretty sure.
Which they're coming to
I think for
Minnesota.
him was the
Yeah.
best because I think Mello has been known as a mellow artist.
Yeah, kind of. He had that
Bro, Marshmello
mixed
goes
genre.
hard, bro.
No, I love Mello.
Joy Time 3 is
but
nuts.
I think that yeah, you're good. But
bro, Joy Time 3 is nuts, bro.
I'm not saying it's not.
No, it sounds like you want to fight.
You want to
No.
on camera,
Yeah.
mic'd up,
Mic'd up.
brah. But no, I think that Mello, because we're pretty sure Mello is .com, right?
What? Mellow.com?
You don't know the whole conspiracy
I don't know
behind
what that
Marshmello?
means, bro. No.
Like .com was a DJ, and then he stopped performing because everyone was like, Mello is somebody before he was somebody.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
And
Yeah,
I've
heard that actually.
DJ.com.
I've heard that actually from
and
one of my homies.
I don't know too much .com music, but I think it was a lot harder than the Mello stuff.
Was it like Dubby?
I think so.
Yeah.
But don't quote me.
Hey,
Could be
you know,
completely wrong.
Mellow and Sudden Death are coming to Minneapolis. Armory, April 28th. I'm not even getting paid to say this, but yeah, Sim shows, Armory, get your fucking tickets.
Dude,
Jack Trash, check us out.
I don't even know. I remember last show I've been to, dude. It's been on dad life. I'm not even a dad yet.
Life. You're not
but I
even
am.
dad yet. You know what kind of
I'm just trying to get on that wave.
dude?
But I made it a point that I'm going to a big show at some point within
Yeah.
next year, but we're gonna do like a box because my girl used to be in the EDM scene too, but she's
Yeah.
been out of it for a long time.
No, you got to get at our big age, bro. We got to get some sort of
I'm fine with being on the floor, but I think it'd be way better to be in a box.
dude. We're sitting down. You got a bottle right there. Like, what's
Yeah.
not cool about that?
Nothing.
Exactly.
Nothing's not
I'd
cool.
rather have that instead
Yeah.
of waiting at long lines.
Yeah. Ooh, I had a good question.
I think as we get older, build off that quick. Hold that.
I'm
We're getting
holding.
old.
Holding.
We are getting fucking old.
So,
I'm almost
like,
30, bro.
I have zero ambition to get up on the front rail to mosh. you
Exactly.
know?
We're
'Cause
talking about
it's
this
like-
earlier. Going to shows.
I got
in
fucking
general.
tinnitus in my ears, bro. Like, I'm not trying to be
Same, it's-
front row, bro.
It's starting on me too, especially in
That died off a
making
while
loud
ago for
music.
me, front row, to be honest. I still love going to shows, but find me in the way back of the Armory in
Way
the
back
left,
middle.
almost towards the merch.
No, way back
literally.
middle, bro, for me, bro.
I like some room to breathe.
Same, mate. Wake up.
It's an easy access to the bathroom and bar.
Quick exit,
Quick exit if you gotta go.
just in case some shit happens,
Just
which
in-
it probably doesn't. But
No,
I'd be
but
paranoid like that.
sometimes Blizzy gets mad at me and I gotta get the fuck out of there.
Dude, you honestly make me feel so like insecure. Like I'm self-conscious because of you. Like,
Why?
when
I'm
you're-
like the most like non-controversial person.
Nah,
I
you
think.
just make me feel less of a person, bro. It's fine.
Oh yeah, I forgot about to be a dad, dude. I'm like way above you.
We're two
You're just
drinks
way
in,
better.
we're
You're just
getting
better than me, bro.
emotional,
I
we're
get
getting
it. I get
Are
it.
you
You're
gonna
just,
cry?
you're just no, I get it, bro. You're just better than me, bro. I
No,
get
I'm
it.
not.
That's what it make it. It's what you make it seem like,
Emotions are heavy up in
Oh my
Prohibition.
god, dude.
dude. This Red
Are you
Bull,
serious?
I'm like at 270
What's a 270?
heart rate, beats per minute, son. It's a hard style.
Okay, I held my question.
Low Texas.
Do
Oh,
you guys,
yeah.
Do you guys still have the van, the RV? Kinda.
Technically, yes.
I got to
That
go in
thing-
it, but I never got to ride to a show in it.
You
which
don't
was
want to
fun.
ride that thing. That thing fucking breaks down all the time.
Well,
You're gonna be stranded.
I
son.
wish I was there for one of the times
did
it
get
didn't break
stranded
down.
one time.
Wait, what happened?
So we had we have this old ass RV. I'm pretty
How
sure it
old
was
is
like
old though?
86
80s?
or 84.
Yeah,
But
it's
it was
like 40
perfect
years
for
old.
going to like the
That bitch
festival
like
or
that shit like
something.
44 right now.
I wouldn't say perfect. but
Okay, whatever. You're downgrading it.
it was fun. It was an idea, and we got a few uses out of it. But we decided to go to Trollhagen with a huge group. Shout out Trollhagen. We were driving from our house and from the cities. Driving there, we get about 15 minutes away, and the fucker breaks down. We
on
had
the way to
get it
Trollhagen.
On the way to Trollhagen. So I'm like,
How far do you think you're out?
are you fucking kidding me?
20, 30.
15, 20 minutes.
Oh, so you're like
if
almost
that.
there.
Yeah. So we're pissed because like
We're
gotta
ready to go
get here.
shred.
I was like, if it could break down after we're done shredding, that would be awesome. We ended up flagging some truck down. Thankfully, somebody stopped. That was about the 20th vehicle that went by. Yeah. I mean, out in the middle of Wisconsin, no one's going to stop you. Or no one's going to stop and like help
Fuck
you
you,
out.
buddy.
Like, I
Figure it
mean,
out.
Bro, they'll
It's
be talking
dark
about you
out.
to their neighbors. Like, you see that dumbass broke down?
we broke down right in front of a house,
Talking
too. They
about
shut
you.
off all their
Yeah.
lights. They
Hey,
were
no one's
not-
home,
they
They
were
motherfucker.
shut
not-
up all their lights.
Oh,
They were
no.
not about helping us. So we had to flag somebody down. Somebody gave us a jump. We ended up making it to Trollhagen.
Shredded.
We shredded hard, as we always
Hard.
do. And then we're leaving. We get it to start. We're leaving. Then we break down about 10 minutes away.
Oh my god.
We
Damn.
were stranded at 3:30 in the morning because Friday nights Trollhagen goes till 3 a.m.
Yep.
We were stranded at 3:30 in the morning.
How
like,
many
who are
people
we
you
gonna
got?
call?
How many people you got around with you? 15, 10.
75.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Let me count. You guys can keep going while I count.
11,000 million. Quadrillion.
Approximately like 8 people, I would say, maybe 10.
Yeah, that's a
I
good
don't
amount.
remember. I'd choose to not really remember that night. It sucked.
I probably
He
wouldn't
said it
forget about
sucked.
it either.
Heater wasn't working. It was like
Freezing.
freezing. It
It's like
was like -10, and we're all like huddling together. We're waiting for AAA. We don't know when AAA is gonna come out. Captain Smokey J.
Shout out Adler.
Yeah, shout out Adler, boy. He ended up calling his mom and his aunt, and they ended up coming out to get us at like 5:30 a.m. or like 6 a.m.
Damn,
We waited.
shouts
way.
goes out to
waited,
moms and
yes,
aunties.
the
Shout out
biggest
Adlers.
Shout out to the mamas out here coming
In
through
the-
for your boys.
in the clutch. Definitely came in
Dude,
clutch.
Those are
It
one of
was-
those like shitty nights, but great stories.
It was, but
It always happens that
man,
way.
it was not a good time.
It was
let
not
me tell
tight.
ya.
Yeah.
We were like the pilot light for the heater was going, so it was kind of blowing a little bit of air. So we were like huddled up.
She was
by
blowing
that.
cold as
People
fuck,
were-
probably.
People were like huddling together, blankets, everything, and we were just stranded. And it's not a good feeling, let me tell you.
Well, also
And
too, it
after
feels like
that-
you're kind of like hosting because it's your
I
van.
felt terrible
Right.
because it was having some problems before that too.
But you're like, it's fine.
But then like, we got a new battery.
What happened to the van after?
So we figured out that the alternator
Straight to the junkyard.
The alternator belt broke.
You fixed it or you got rid of it?
We fixed it.
Oh my god!
But we never rode in it again.
Well,
I was gonna say,
it'd be
bro.
tough to ride in it again, knowing
You
that
gotta
it
get
could
rid of that
break down
bitch.
like that.
Bro, I would have been got rid of that hoe.
I will never drive that thing.
44 years old, bro.
Ever.
Bro, no, bro.
Ever.
Hey, bro. All right. So real quick, if you had one piece of advice to give to yourself a few years ago, what would it be? You, what you know now, to you, what you didn't know then.
Start earlier.
Or what do you mean by that?
I completely understand what you're saying.
I wish I would have started when I was 15. I wish I would have started when I was 10, because I would be that much better. I mean, the best time to start is yesterday.
How would you deliver that advice to make your younger self understand it, though?
Stop being a bitch and just do it. Just do it. Just do it. You gotta learn. You can't just you can put something in front of you, and naturally humans, you put something in front of yourself, you will figure out ways to get better at that
100%.
thing.
Type shit.
And it's amazing how we work like that. And that's why I think AI will never really take over, because people will respect the fact that humans did something, because they're going to relate to that. People aren't going to relate to AI like they do to real work.
Progression in oneself is huge.
Exactly.
Because it gets you more amped to progress even more.
And people see things in themselves from other artists or inspirations, and that's what drives them. I don't think people are gonna get real much inspiration from AI or anything.
No, because made up.
But yeah, be willing to learn, be willing to set aside, be willing to fail. Most importantly, yes, the nerves will get to you, but try not to let it. But those nerves are also good.
They're good for you,
building
dude.
character. It's like, I got this nasty ass injury in
I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
You've had it since high school?
When I was 15.
That's dangerous right there.
It not only so. Oh man, this is a long story, but we're gonna
It's
get
okay.
into it.
Take off.
I'll make it short. High school soccer team. We were having a little team meal. My buddy, I was playing him in FIFA, and he's really good at FIFA. I beat his ass in the last minute.
Oh, you guys fought?
The entire soccer team was watching in my room while we were playing, and I beat him in the last minute.
Soccer team was crazy.
And you guys fought,
It was
didn't you?
team meal. Not really. I wish that were the case, but no, I don't. I would never. I hate fighting. I mean, I took.
Me too.
No, I
took
kind of
like
figured
5
that, but it
years.
sounded like it was turning into a fight the way.
No, not
some of
really.
it.
Yeah, I took like 5 years of taekwondo. I'm not really.
Kick through somebody.
I'm not really afraid to fight anybody.
Yeah.
But I'm also afraid to fight people because I just don't like it. 'Cause
I
people get
I
hurt.
completely agree with
Bro,
you.
You could die.
Yeah.
Like that's it.
People getting hurt is the worst part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But beat his ass. Everybody was free.
Yeah, I kicked his ass though.
Yeah, I sure did. The whole soccer team was freaking out. He's like trying to wrestle me now. I'm like running away from him. We're in my room. I go on my bed. I'm on my hands and knees, and I'm like, dude, I'm not trying to fucking wrestle right now. Like, stop. I love you. I'm not gonna name your name like that, but I love you. I got on my back like wrestling style, chopped my right arm in, and then flipped me the wrong way. So his body weight went into my arm.
Oh, no way. Your fucking bicep fucking broke through your tricep.
Oh my god, dude.
Shit.
Snap.
You're a humorist? That's what it's called?
Yeah, my humerus bone. It was not funny, mind you.
No, dude.
Not funny at all.
That shit, not humorous.
Yeah, it is now that we're talking about
It's
it.
humorous because the way it
Dude,
started
hold on.
and it happened a long time
Your shit
ago.
was sticking out your arm?
No, well, kind of, yeah.
Almost.
You could see it, but when
Ambulance came?
my humerus, no, we drove.
Shit.
It's not worth an ambulance nowadays.
Shit was bleeding out?
No, not even. So my humerus bone snapped close to my elbow, and when it snapped, it severed my medial nerve. So my hand was paralyzed for over a year and a half,
Wow.
roughly.
Over a FIFA
So big
game.
cast, like
Not even
Over a
not
FIFA
even.
game.
It was a splint, but I mean, it was a freak accident. he feels worse about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Wasn't on purpose.
Disclaimer: we are still very good friends to this
But
day.
you still beat him at FIFA.
Made you closer, probably. You still beat him at FIFA. He
In a
broke your
way.
arm.
I mean, man, we have so many memories together. He's like an idol to me. Looking up, still is. He's doing amazing things in the health industry and like university industry. But I don't want to name drop him right now.
100%.
But
well, the fact that you guys are still cool.
That's
is
dope.
cool.
we're
Yeah.
so cool. I actually
Like I
sent him
said,
my
accident.
I actually just sent him my old PS4 Pro for his birthday because he was
Hell
going
yeah.
through some
Some
shit.
shit.
But like he's so busy because he works for a university and he's doing like stuff with like groundbreaking stuff.
Right. Well,
actually.
I think too. Like, I think the point of fighting too is to get over your shit. A lot of nowadays people fight and they're like, I still hate that fucking kid. The whole point of
Yeah,
fighting
yeah,
is to
nah.
fight, get it over
Get
with,
over
and
it.
then shake
Squash the
hands and maybe
beef.
go have a beer
Yeah,
after.
You're
Like,
good.
That it was just a freak accident.
Yeah.
And I am so thankful it happened to me because injuries,
They suck.
some people you said it, they do really suck. But at the same time, depends on the person how they handle it.
Yeah.
But most people do grow and it makes them strong and it makes them gives them good characteristics. And I'm so thankful that it happened. It made me who I am today. I try not to have any regrets in life, only lessons, no L's, no losses, just always lessons.
bro.
And it made me who I am. And especially the fact that the doctors told me that they didn't know if I was going to be able to use my hand again. That
that is some
changes
dangerous
somebody.
shit right there.
Fucking Pamela gone.
Man.
The scar is pretty gnarly and it looks cool though.
It
Let's
is.
be real.
That's 2 surgeries. So they had to cut my elbow off to get to the bone.
And then
then
had
they
to
had
grow
to, like,
back.
Because it was partially severed, so they had to like partially reattach my medial nerve.
Yeah.
And hope to God it grows back.
Holy shit.
And then they had to cut my elbow off, 2 titanium plates, 17 screws to get the humerus back, and then they pinned my elbow back with 2 pins and a wire. Then I had to get 2 surgeries, or the second surgery, to get my pins pulled out and the wire because it was just.
And
I would
this
go
is
like
all
this.
from like a FIFA fight. Like, that's crazy.
Well,
Oh.
yeah.
Not trying to downplay it. I'm just saying, like,
No, it's
like imagine if you actually hated that person, you guys would have fought.
I mean, if I actually hated him, he would not be at my house. But
Right.
I loved him. I still love him. I'm thankful that that event happened. It made me who I
Yeah.
am, and
Was
it's amazing.
So, you want to drop your social media handles, SoundCloud handles? Where can we follow you? Where can people find more of you?
Oh yeah. So my Twitter and Instagram handles are Dayngr Zone, Dayngr Zone, and then Facebook I have a page, Dayngr. Trying to think what else.
Any upcoming shows coming up that you want to talk about? Upcoming projects?
Not really any shows set in stone at all right now, but
Gotta
there's
be-
definitely more shows.
Gotta be
coming
good
up.
event.
Yeah,
I'm trying to like
definitely would love that.
make this like a thing.
Absolutely.
Hopefully.
Are we running out of time here? Are we...
No, we're good. But
Oh, okay.
feeling great, living, loving.
All right, and we're back.
So,
3 intros later.
what kind of DAW do you produce in then?
Ableton.
Ableton, it's forever, or
There
did you start
is-
FL? Were you always Ableton?
So I guess technically I started in GarageBand.
GarageBand.
And that was middle school, and I did
Yep.
one project for an assignment. But
Mm-hmm.
I remember right when I got into college soccer, I got a nice MacBook. My dad bought me a nice 2015 MacBook Pro. Like, yeah, I'm gonna spend the money on it
Shout
for
out, Dad.
college. Shout out my dad. I love you. Spent the money on that, and I totally underutilized that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I had the right idea. Like, I want to do graphic design. I want to make music. Did all like download all the programs, but my 18-year-old, 19-year-old self was like, man, I don't know how to do this shit. I don't know how to, like, let alone even want to learn, you know? But college, downloaded Ableton, downloaded Serum,
Let's go.
the godsend.
Shout out Serum, Dave Duda. Who was the guy's name? Duda. So Steve Duda.
I have no idea,
Well, he
honestly.
created a powerhouse of his fucking
that's
Serum.
still
Yep.
very widely used today.
Mm-hmm.
And open all that shit up. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I don't know how to do any of this. And I tried teaching myself. Didn't watch any videos.
Mm-hmm.
No
Just
videos.
started fucking around.
That's
with
crucial
it.
to the learning process, though.
Right. And then I dropped all of it. Tried
Yeah.
to focus on soccer. Ended up not making it. Ended up transferring to UW Eau Claire. Got in trouble with pot twice in Eau Claire.
Bro, that's all bullshit.
Yeah,
Get in trouble
Because
for pot
nowadays
is
it's
fucking
like
stupid.
whatever, it's a
It's
slap on the
nothing.
wrist.
But
But
in
it's Wisconsin. It's what they, yeah, literally, it's
they're
Wisconsin.
still on the same
I got into
shit.
the same shit at River Falls.
Same
Yep.
with Dakotas.
Yeah, no, it's
Dakotas is
bullshit.
pretty big too.
Still in the same shit. And what we were talking about with my buddy that injured me, I ended up rooming with him in Eau Claire too, twice in a house, in the dorms and in a house after that. But I decided to leave Eau Claire. I dropped out. Wasn't for me. I'm chasing a major that I, had interest in, but I wasn't feeling it. I was like, still like, I don't know what I want to do. And now part of me regrets, even though I hate regrets. I don't regret it. I really enjoyed my time there. I had the experience, but at the same time, I wish I would have taken the time to focus on my music making because I did want to do it back then. I opened up Ableton, got very intimidated, turned it away for 4 or 5 years.
Yep.
And I started DJing, and then thankfully this injury happened, and that was the kickoff for
For sure.
everything, and
And
it changed my life.
That's great. I didn't want to bring it up too, but also I have to bring it up because
Oh God, here we go.
no, sorry, I'm not trying to get like super deep, but I grew up to like where my parents weren't together like ever. I mean, they were together like the first 2-3 years of my life, but like never married. How much of that had a impact like on your upbringing and
My divorced parents.
yes,
It sucked. Sucked a lot, but at the same time, I'm thankful. I'm thankful it happened.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thankful that they didn't force themselves to be together because you need to be happy.
And they didn't fake it. And then,
Yep.
if you don't mind me asking, how old were you when they split?
Oh, I don't even think I was a year old.
Okay, so you're kind of like me.
It was ever since I was born, I basically just knew that.
Which I have this theory that if it happens when you're younger, it's a lot better because I know a lot of kids that it happens when they're in their teens, and I think it fucks them up a lot more.
I agree fully. Even though that's never happened to me.
No, it hasn't, but you know what I mean?
can
Like
see
I
how it
grew up
will.
and I'm just like, this is life. This is how it is.
Mm-hmm.
I've just seen a lot of people where it happens in their teens, which is like a critical age, I think. And it just completely fucks with their whole state of mind and
Everything. Yep.
how they look about things. And
Especially in their own relationships and their own
100%.
lifestyle. Absolutely.
they won't, after that, they won't let anybody in, like a lot at least. They'll let people in, but like not
really
to the
though.
extent. Yeah,
Not
like
really.
they're like, I'm never getting hurt again type of vibe.
They'll let them take a step.
Yes.
And that's about
But
it. It's everybody handles things every differently. My dad
Yeah.
always taught me everybody copes differently. You
100%.
shouldn't really judge people on how they cope because they're going through things that you can't imagine.
Yeah.
So
Well-
it's like but yeah, I am so thankful that both my sides of family have been very, very civil with
Yes.
each other in their own ways, and that alone like changed my perception on a bunch of things. It's like people can do it.
Yes, and the fact that you can be like copacetic or whatever, or just like respectful of
Yeah.
your baby mama, your baby daddy, whatever.
Yeah.
The end of the day, you have a kid together. So you
Mhm.
got to somewhat keep it together for them, like 100%. So
At the end of the day, it's not about your life, it's about your kids.
yeah, the day that you guys decided to have me or whatever
Mhm.
is the day you decided to, it's not about me anymore. So
Exactly.
if you guys can
And-
be copacetic and at least talk to each other and be like, hey, You got them this week and you got them that week, whatever.
All right.
I love.
Which one of your parents was cooler with you playing music loud as hell?
That's
not really a tough question at all, because
me,
they
it
are
is.
both my side, my mom and my dad and my other mom. They are both sides are so. At first, they were like, "Oh, really? Like, you really want to do this?"
Mhm.
But this first show, 2 Fridays ago, man, it was such a good feeling seeing them all headbang. And
Oh,
just
they were there?
Oh yeah,
And both sides were
Nice.
yep,
there. Hell yeah.
both sides, and it was such a good feeling because I think they could finally see the vision.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
and,
you showed them what is in your head.
it was all
And they saw it.
exactly because me talking about it at family functions and being like, yeah, this is what I want to do, and
It
they're like,
just-
oh yeah, okay.
It
You
seems
know,
it
like-
seems so far fetched
The-
for
It
the
is.
normal person.
The idea
you know
they
what I
have in
mean?
their head is a lot different than the idea you have in your head. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Like,
But them actually being there was like, I feel like
Yeah.
oh, he's actually doing this.
Yeah.
And it was almost like another sports event to them.
Yeah.
And that's why they wanted to be there so bad. And I'll be honest, at first I wasn't even going to invite them. But my
Yeah.
siblings on both sides invited
You
them.
got to do it.
And then they told me about it, and I was like,
That's the beauty of a good support
Shit.
system, though, man.
yeah.
Like,
Yep.
I got a lot of family, too, that'll, like you said, I wasn't even planning on inviting them, but once the word gets out, they want to just be there.
Yep.
And then it just makes it that much more cooler, you
Yep.
know?
And then and with that, I was like, I'm so happy they're here.
Yep.
Even though it's like, oh, it's an open deck night, you know, it's
Doesn't matter,
It's
dude.
not like-
You performed.
I did without like
So,
as much that I mean I did mess up a couple of times, but I had
But
to let
most
a couple
of the crowd didn't
songs-
notice that. Only
No,
you
they
noticed
didn't.
that.
And that's the art of a performer. It's
So-
like you try to make it seem like you did it.
And you had family there. That's great.
Yeah, and I didn't. I mean, to me, I messed up. I had to let a couple songs play through. I was headbanging too hard. I was in the moment a little
Yeah,
bit too hard,
it'd
and
be like that.
I had to let a couple songs play through, and it was like all of a sudden
You missed the transition, just let it keep going.
Yep,
Yep.
you have to.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have
You can't
to.
fuck up the flow.
No, not at all. And I
Yeah.
didn't, and I was successful at it because
Yep.
I've done this
Yeah.
1,000
You know what the
times.
fuck you're doing.
Yeah,
So this
and
is a question I ask every DJ, bro. How do you feel about the sync button?
I don't
You don't feel about it?
touch that thing.
You don't
I'm
touch
a
it?
beat
You don't-
matcher.
Okay.
I beat match. That's how I learned, and that's how
Mhm.
I want to do it.
You've
and
never touched the sync button in your
Nope.
life.
And if I did, it's on accident.
You're a sync virgin. Sync virgin.
I am. I don't know. I think at first part of me disagreed with it. It's like, oh, you shouldn't do that. It's cheating.
Mhm.
I respect it.
Okay.
I think you got to do what you got to do up there, and I respect it
Yep.
whatsoever. You got to make a show good, and if that's what you got to do it, more respect to you. To
Okay.
me, I think it's more pleasing for me to do it like that.
Yeah.
And I think
More true to the skill.
exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, and DJing originally, you're throwing on vinyl,
Records. Yeah.
and you gotta figure out exactly where that vinyl is going, where that needle is placed.
and you don't got no screen.
You don't got no
You got to
cue.
beat match by ear.
You can't, you
Yeah.
know, it's just, I mean, maybe you did have a cue back then.
You're
I
just
don't
the
know.
needle, the tip of the needle.
Right. But it's like, still, you gotta
No, you got to
raw dog that shit. It's,
and let it go on time.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so, to me, it was like, I just love beat matching. It's just more for me to do.
Yeah.
It actually like, because like obviously like when you're a big artist, you're doing that shit. You got to play a pre-recorded show here and there.
Yeah.
You
Like
know.
EDC, I hear if you want your shit to be
Most
on
of 'em
time.
are.
And most of them are, yeah.
Yeah, and
Especially
that-
with like a lot of pyro and a lot of.
People just got to accept that when
Yeah.
you have that much money in production put into a live set like that, where you have the lights, the lasers, the pyro,
Yeah. They all
the
got to be on
CO2,
time.
It has to be. And if you mess up because you're doing a live set based off of your, you know, I guess ego, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it's not worth it
Yeah.
because you made it to that point. You're putting on shows that people are paying
I knew
for.
you were gonna put on a good show though, even though I haven't seen one yet, which I feel bad about. But like
Oh,
I said, I grew
it'll
up
come.
like seeing like your even like your basement shows, like
It was, yeah.
is
Okay.
even like in your own household, like which it probably feels like most comfortable. But I was like, this dude's gonna.
But even then, it just felt right being
Yeah.
in that venue
Yes.
and like putting on a show for randoms too.
I remember I think we used to put like tape down like in the basement.
Oh yeah,
Shit like
dude, I
that,
did
like,
everything. I
yeah.
bought like a shitty little projector.
We do like
and-
hopscotch, like, squares. And
Oh, I
shit.
was messed up for that night. That was
Like,
that was a good time. You know when the hopscotch comes out, that's a good time.
No Twister though.
You know,
No Twister. It's
No
not
Twister.
It's not that kind of
You know,
party.
Captain Jordan's there doing the hopscotch.
Oh
Bro,
yeah.
though.
No, he was one of my biggest supporters that night
Dude,
too. He was
Adler-
open up that fucking pit.
Every time, Adler, open up that fucking pit.
Oh yeah.
That's my guy. Shout out
Legend.
Jordan.
He will always be at every single one of my shows, and if he is, he's
Great guy.
sick
Great guy.
or in the hospital.
Walk me through a quick sound design patch and serum right now, just in your head.
Man, my go-to. I never reuse a patch. So I will always find a wavetable that I think is cool, and I always raw dog it.
Okay.
So just to be fresh,
Yep.
original. I'll take one. A lot of FM from B for the most part. It depends. It really depends. I'll just mostly just fuck around and find something I like and then make it sound cool with the automations and the LFOs in that aspect and mess around, tweak some things. I get something that I kind of like. I go into the FX, then I'll add, compression. I'll add my delay, make it sound both ears, stereo, wide, add some distortion, add a little bit of chorus, add a little bit of
Make it nice and wide.
that
So,
hyper dimension is pretty cool.
What are you throwing on your filter on the first screen? What's your filter looking
on
like?
the first screen?
Yep. What's your filter looking like?
Depends. It really depends. Like
I feel like a comb is what most people use,
a lot of comb.
but I want to know what you use. Do you just go with what's right or what?
I'll cycle through a bunch.
Yeah. See what
And-
sounds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I really do love the reverb option, and I'll
Okay.
mix it. I'll adjust the mix a little bit so it's not like too twangy and not too like overpowered, and just kind of like a
Yeah.
little touch to it. And then that reverb filter, phaser, obviously. What's another one?
What's some little
Yeah, the
secrets?
comb. What's the all pass is another good one. Barely Alive taught me that one. All pass. Mix down the mix just down a little bit, but
Mhm.
mostly everything that gets everything to pop though is the post production.
Mhm.
The post production. I'll get everything I like in the patch as much as I can, but not too much.
Mhm.
And then I'll go into Ableton. I'll put my audio effect rack. I'll parallel process. I'll do my dry straight chain, and then after that the second chain will be my reverb on it, my overdrive, my erosion, my corpus is a really good one. that I
Corpus is a
like to-
distortion plugin. Or is,
I honestly don't know the back end of corpus that much, so I don't know if it is
it's native
distortion.
to Ableton, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and I think it's more of like a kind of like a reverb effect almost, but like in its own way, because you can do like a tube or a plate is a plate I really like, or there's a cone is another good one. But yeah, just slightly on there just to kind of get things a little bit more wide and like just like a specific type of feeling. But I mostly just mess around
So
until I find something I really like and then really fine tune it.
what are some of the live streams that you've tapped into that helped you a lot?
Hell yeah.
Because I know I do the same shit, but just for my
Yep.
genre.
Yep.
Who are some of the big names that you watch and you watch their streams and production?
Bunch of big names. I mean, not really so big because a lot of these guys don't really have that many views or follows or likes, but what they're doing is a godsend because
Yeah.
it's helping me a lot.
The
But, like,
knowledge, yeah.
Dripmint, Peekaboo does a bunch of live streams. Really helps. I've watched a few Subtronic streams. I learned a lot from him. Who's another guy?
I've seen the company ones. I don't know if you've seen the company ones.
Company. Oh god,
Yep.
yeah. How could I forget? Literally, Company has taught me so much.
Mm-hmm.
There's another big name that I'm forgetting, but yeah, Company, Dripment, Peekaboo. I even watched a couple of Skrillex ones where he would like show a little
Yeah.
bit about what he's doing.
And dude, it's so important to watch those streams because anyone who's dedicated, they're watching the streams just to see the ideas, what shit does,
what the
how good
pros
how
do.
good sounds, like what good sounds like. It's hard to figure out what good sounds like,
Yep.
especially when you don't got an ear for it.
It's gotta be good.
It's got to be good.
It gotta be good.
And it's like watching the pros do it. It just levels you up that much faster.
Insanely faster.
Yeah.
And I think you should be watching more than you are producing.
Yeah, dude, I put some of those on as I'm going to sleep because as I'll be hearing them as I'm sleeping, and I feel like that much is just making me better, bro. Like it might not be true, but that's just how I feel about it.
Deadass. I been telling a couple friends, it's almost like you guys watched a couple live streamers or whatever. They're playing a game. They're playing whatever.
They're big chilling.
You
It was
watch
big
them.
during COVID like era,
Oh, yeah.
obviously.
You watch them a lot, and all of a sudden you watch them enough where you could probably hop into that game that you never played before, but you've
Yeah.
seen them play 1,000
And you know how it
games,
works.
and you know how it works.
And that comes back to that shit you were talking about earlier, because you were saying how like we pick out every white we can see, but the browns all blend in. It's really like when you focus on something, you can really start breaking that shit down. So
all
it's
about
like,
what you focus on.
yeah, and it's like down, like just like you said right now. So I could watch Ninja stream Fortnite, and like I can get better watching him play to the point where I might not ever have practiced this technique, but just because I seen someone else do it, I applied it in a real life scenario.
In your performance, and you might
Yeah.
get a couple wins out of it
So-
because you did apply some techniques.
So,
Some techniques he did.
So
yeah.
last night, coming back to DJing, shout out Miguel Tobar. We had him on the podcast earlier. He performed a very high level technique.
I
last
heard
night.
Mr. Sims performed last night.
Dude, yep. So he closed out the night for Nocturnal. He performed a super high level technique that I've only heard of, but I never seen in person, bro. Basically, he was mixing 3 songs with just 2 CDJs. He was using the roll effect.
Oh,
So
okay.
so you know, he had the one song on this side. He was blending out right here. He turns on the roll effect, you know, cuts out, but the song is continuously going.
affecting.
Picks out his next song, loads it in, and then just keeps the vibe going.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, that's one of those things that anyone can glance over it and think it wasn't that crazy. But I was watching him do it, and I'm like, dude, he executed that effortlessly, perfectly. The vibe flowed all the way through. And it's like, you know, it's almost like an NBA player. How deep is your bag? You know, if all you got is a crossover, then it's gonna get boring real quick.
And people are gonna be able to pick you up.
Exactly.
Like,
And
eat
it's
you
like-
apart. Yeah.
And it's like, dude, you witness all these high level techniques watching other people DJ, especially locals, and you like almost learn through them.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's crazy
What's up, Tony?
to the normal mind. Tony, shout out Tony.
Shout out to the boss, man,
To the-
himself.
Production. Welcome. I love you.
We're having some technical difficulties with Eddie.
He's glitching,
Hoodie's got a bug.
Yeah.
but yeah,
But yeah, I was about to say, any person that, you know, thoroughly enjoys EDM and they don't have any idea what goes on in the background, what skill it takes to actually do the shit that they do
Yeah.
on a controller. It's way more than you think.
Yeah.
It's so insane, especially just like making certain sounds. It can be easy. Like sometimes they do easy shit that sounds really good, but
Yeah.
for the most part,
just
it takes years.
the ability to make it look easy is the hard part.
That is it. It's
You know
like
what I'm saying?
any sport.
You put a rookie
any-
behind there, they're not
anything.
gonna know what to do. You put a pro behind there, they make it look easy, and
Yep.
that process is what makes you different.
And that goes with any performing anything in general,
Yep.
cooking, cleaning, anything like that. You know, those pros know little shit that
Mhm.
most people do not know about, that shave off so much that just make it sound so much more professional. It's just amazing.
Yeah, bro. It's kind of like we were talking about earlier. You put a piece of yourself out every time you perform, and if your
Yep.
bag is deep, if you can make it look easy, it just gives people that much more reason to fuck with you.
Yeah, I
Oh,
tried
yeah.
to. And then like preparing for this last set I did, I had so much fun because it was the first time I actually got to hone down and pick certain songs that I love and then mixing them in where it's like they got brilliant vocals, and then those vocals are going into the build up, and then like switching into the drop, it was just supreme, and I can't wait to keep doing that and keep giving people chills, because that's my ultimate goal.
Drop a
Giving
few
people chills.
IDs that were in your set.
Absolutely.
Your favorite IDs.
Yeah. And one of my big ideas, and I'm saying this because Skrillex said, like, if you have great ideas, you should put it out into the world, because it will eventually come back to you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put this out there for the first time. I've told a bunch of friends and family my ideas of like what I'm going to do in the future. And I'm just going to put this out into the world. It's like, I really want to put smell into my shows. So it's like, you go to a bunch of raves, you go to a bunch of shows, and it doesn't smell good. You got a bunch of people sweating.
Fucking works, bro.
You got a bunch of alcohol. You're smelling all sorts
fucking
of stuff.
BO, bro.
But if you
Shit's moist.
Should be smelling fishy.
So moist. Yeah. Lot of smell. Big world.
Capital
lot of
M.
smells. But like, if you get a heavy drop that hits you, gives you chills, but then you have a
like
smell,
mint peppermint.
yeah, or something like that.
I will say, smells is one of the only things that really brings back memories for me.
It's like that for a
It
lot.
tickles that part of your
Everybody
brain.
goes to your show, you have the same smell for years.
Oh wow.
Yep.
You might be onto something.
Dude,
And that's what I'm trying to
Dude,
be
that's what Mark
psychology
Cuban
stuff.
does at the Maverick Stadium. Actually, he puts aromas in the air.
That's what I'm trying
Once
to
you
do.
smell
I'm
that,
trying to
you're
really
like,
make that a thing. 4D, just like that.
Last time I was here, you can smell the last show you've been to.
You smell something super nostalgic. You're like, oh, that brings me back to when I was 5 years old at
Takes me
Grandpa's
back.
house, just
Fucking cookies cooking in the
so
oven.
good.
Like,
Yeah.
dude, that
Some crazy
one fall day, you're just outside, normal day, and then all of a sudden you're just taken back in time. It's just
fresh fall
just
leaves.
hits you.
Yeah,
Just
seriously.
hits you.
It's just another idea I had, and I'm sure plenty of people have had this idea before me, but like, I actually want to put it into fruition consistently in my upcoming shows, is like getting that serotonin and dopamine dump from getting that heavy bass drop, feeling it in your body, but also smelling it too, so you remember it that much more. And
Damn,
that's
bro.
what people will remember.
You're trying to
me
do
by.
God's work, man.
I'm trying.
That's
I'm
crazy.
trying. It's an idea that I just put out in the world, and it's gonna, hopefully people take on to that, and it's gonna change things. It's gonna.
It all starts with
plan
an
on doing
idea. It all starts with an idea.
Everything does.
You have to
Or a smell.
at least think about it first.
Or smell.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I got big plans for the future, especially like I do eventually want to make a TV show about my life, about my struggle with everything. All
Autobiography type of shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like Lil Dicky, his show Dave.
Yeah.
That really
Yeah.
influenced me. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. If he can do it, I'm gonna do it. And I think people will love it. I want to make it dramatic. I want to make it emotional. I want to make it funny. I want to make it amazing. And that's just my whole life, is all of those things. And it's gonna happen one day. I know it will. I've felt it.
Yep. It's all about effort, is what I say.
Yep. And manifestation. It's like, if you can see little details in your future, that's the secret about manifestation, is like, when you are envisioning the future you want, you have to envision
The
tiny
details.
details of
Exactly.
everything. And once eventually you'll hit that tiny detail and be like, damn.
It's crazy because I'll be like, I tell people all the time, it's like, yeah, bro, I mix in my head. And they'll be like, what do you mean you mix in your fucking head? Like, bro, I'm literally like DJing in my head all the time, bro.
Yep.
Like, what I do with the machine is what I do in my brain when I'm not behind the machine.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I'll build onto that. A part of me that like wanted to DJ, in high school, I would make playlists. My first playlist I made was like Thursday night cruising, I think. Or Thursday night. I don't even remember, but Thursday night cruising. I made a playlist of all the songs I like, just like on a Thursday night. We're getting high, we're driving around, high school shit, you know. A bunch of songs that would be so sick high. And I had like 15 people like follow the playlist, and they're like, damn, like, what's this song? I'm like, hey, I made a playlist, follow it. And they followed it. And I'll be like, damn, I feel like I would be a good DJ. You know, like,
That's where it started.
people like my sound selection, you know.
Yeah.
And I eventually made another one. Thursday night thriving, I think I called it. And then Friday night cruising, I made one. And so I think I'm about to make another one.
Thursday Thrive, Friday
night,
Cruise.
Saturday night something.
It's not bad.
I don't know.
Should make it a mix. Put it on SoundCloud.
Yeah. Maybe. I got it on Spotify. So yeah, check those out.
No, but what I was saying earlier, bro, you heard ideas, but I said IDs.
Oh.
What are some of your favorite IDs that were in your playlist for the night you DJ'd?
Like IDs, like unreleased
IDs as in like the songs you dropped.
Man.
Identify them hoes.
I definitely had some Nazar. I love Nazar.
Nazar got some crazy shit.
Sultan.
I always gotta put some Marauder in there. Murata.
Oh yeah, I didn't have any Murata actually.
Dude, I love the type of bass that like screams at you with a boom, wah. But there's like some quarter notes in the background, like wop wop wop.
I did a little bit of everything in my set, but like Hayes is a big up and coming artist that I really like.
Hayz.
Hayz. Yeah, Hayes.
I'm thinking of Lays.
Good. Yeah, Lays is also really. I'm pretty sure I had a Lays song in my set too. But Alley Cat, I played a song by her. She's awesome.
I actually haven't heard much of Alley Cat. I seen her name everywhere, bro, and her logo is legit. It's like so basic, but it gets the message across.
Yeah, I do a lot of. I didn't pick anybody specifically for my artists for my sets. I just go through my songs. I'm like, oh, this is
the shit sick. You like, yeah.
Then I added in with my own songs, but Anti-Hero is a big up and coming name that is very good at dubstep. He gets a lot of the same shit that I do, like the vocals, the ambience, the build up, and then just into heavy sustained headbanging drops that just almost like tear out, but not really. He's just Anti-Heroes. I'm a big fan of Anti-Hero.
Dude, 150 fucking head knocking.
150 for sure. Most of my music is 140 though. So
140 is goated, bro.
I'm kind of slow with it, but like
140 is the original dubstep tempo.
Yep. I had a couple WAD songs. WAD is
some people will say like 135.
Hey, if it sounds good, it sounds good.
Yeah.
That's everything with music. It's all subjective.
But here's the thing. When you're making music, how do you know what sounds good compared to what actually sounds good? Because people will show you their music that think it sounds good. This is where Blizzy's criticism comes in, and he tells you it's real, and he's like, this don't sound good. Who's right in this situation?
So
I'll let you go first.
Yeah. So when I first started, I'd be like, damn, this sounds good, but I know it can sound a lot better because it's not comparable to the shit that I like. So I took the steps to what other pros are doing too. It's a lot of compression.
Mimic the greats.
The greats. It's a lot of compression. It's a lot of clipping. It's a lot of distortion. And I'll go back to it. It's subjective. Like you can make something if you think to answer your question, it's in my heart. Seriously. It's like when I'm listening to something and I'm like, oh, this doesn't sound good enough. I will get it to a place where I'm like, oh, yeah, I fuck with
you
this.
don't
I love
think it.
So
you feel it.
You feel it.
So I could
That
put
is
it
for sure.
I could. So he has a point, bro. It's subjective and it's art, but there's also logic to it.
Yep.
The easiest way, if you want to know that if you're on track or not, is play your song next to a professional song. If your song sounds way fucking softer and shit's just out of whack compared to the professional song, that means your sound is not sounding good. That means your ear needs more training in terms of leveling, in terms of figuring out what post-processing you need to do for certain things. And that's how you develop an ear.
But I can counter that with SoundCloud.
Okay.
So many people develop these sounds that aren't that quality.
Yeah.
But those are what took them to the next level.
So like we're saying, it's subjective.
Subjective.
So it's an okay. So
that is a method.
As long as you could bring the loudness up to a competitive volume, I would say anything can compete in the music industry.
Sometimes you can't even hear the words. You can't hear some sounds, but at the end of the day, does it come down to who the artist is and how they're
as long as your music can hit a
because it has
commercial
a feeling and not just a sound.
As long as your music can hit a commercial level, for me, I don't care what it sounds like. I need your sounds to like be good. So like for example, this is the commercial level of volume, and up here we have professional volume. A lot of amateurs only make it like in this far of the spectrum. If you could bring your volume as loud as a professional volume standard with high quality, I will respect your music. If it's not there, it's not there.
Yep, and you can tell when some people's music are
It's lacking
just
in that
not
department.
lacking. Yeah,
Yeah.
when where it's like too basic. Like they could have done so much more post processing to make it sound wider, clearer, louder. But
Clear up the frequency.
there is a loudness war going on
Yeah.
where sometimes it doesn't need to be that loud, but that is the standard that is taking hold right now.
Everything's at 0, bro, nowadays.
Yeah,
If
and
you
like
want to release commercially, it has to hit
the
0.
lufs are even hitting over
Luff's got to hit like
0.
-8, bro, for me personally.
I mean, shit.
Like -8, maybe a little bit less.
I just watched a video of Gorilla T, which is a huge up and coming artist, dubstep artist. He makes a bunch of wonky music, and it sounds so good in my opinion. But he just released a video of him, and he's showing the luff meter, and he's hitting like over like 2.
Bro, his luffs are hitting over 2.
Yes, and
Oh
it
my
still
God.
sounds
Okay,
clear.
So for you guys who don't know, a luft is the level of perceived loudness. So it's not actually the level it hits at; it's the level you hear it at. So
Wait.
if you're hitting anything over 0, is crazy.
It's crazy, but if you can make it sound crystal clear and it's still that loud,
You think
you're kind of winning in this industry.
You
it's
are.
like it's because when you have it at a low volume and it still sounds amazing, even at like let's say your iPhone volume 1, and it still you can hear everything and it sounds so good. That's what you're winning. Yeah, but
you want your shit to sound full and clear at a low volume.
It's all subjective though. Like
it is, but it isn't. In terms of loudness, in
Yeah.
terms of clarity, like there are certain guidelines we need to follow to make it competitive.
Mhm.
But in terms of your style, I would say it's subjective and all left up to the creator.
And dubstep, absolutely. But I've heard some really good songs in dubstep that are super loud, but it's also hitting the point where it's like, all right, this is like
Excessive.
too much noise going on. It's like
No
too much,
clarity.
dare I say, ear rape. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's like too loud. So you got to find that happy mix, and that's it. It all depends on the artist.
And that's why they call us an artist, because it's art, bro. We gotta take the time to the details.
It's up to the individual artist.
We gotta polish those
So
details.
my suggestion with that is getting your mix down right, making sure your levels on everything aren't competing with each other. So your kick is hitting hard, right? But then you got your bass. So you got to make sure your bass is super loud, but it's still not overpowering your kick, so you can still hear the kick. I mean, sidechain is really good for that, but sometimes people don't even sidechain that. That's why it's all subjective. You got to do what sounds good. And these mainstream normal music schools, they mostly teach you how to
get from point A to point B.
Yeah, but like mix everything in like almost like a jam band, not jam band, just like any regular band mix down sound point. So
Yeah.
it's like
It's not electronic music.
that's not this. It's not the same at all.
Like electronic, okay, so like in a real life scenario where you have a jam band somewhere, you're gonna mix everyone's instrument into a speaker, and it's gonna play over like some regular speakers, and you got your volume controls right here. But behind a DAW, you're working with a frequency spectrum. Not only do the speakers not produce after a certain level, but you also got to keep in mind the people you're making the music for.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the big difference between electronic music and like the type of shit they teach at IPR. You know,
Absolutely. And
And-
IPR is no longer existent.
you know what I'm saying?
Now it's
like
Slam Academy.
That type of
which
music is
amazing.
outdated, bro. Slam Academy is amazing because they
Mhm.
have sound design lectures, bro. They have actual DJs that come through, Ableton certified instructors. Shout out Slam Academy, bro. You guys are fucking awesome.
About people I learned from Mr. Bill. My God, how did I forget? Mr. Bill has taught me so much. I love Mr. Bill. His sound design is incredible, and he gets his kicks hit so hard, but he just has so much going on in the background that I love with his bass sounds and his ambience and his effects that he puts in the background. He's just so phenomenal. He's a very under-recognized artist, and he's Ableton certified. But yeah, to add on to that, Virtual Riot is now living in Minneapolis.
Yep.
And he's teaching in Slam Academy. And so if you're in Minneapolis, you don't even have to be in Minneapolis. You can be all around the world. Sign up for Slam Academy. Learn from Virtual Riot. He is one of the GOATs. He's willing to put his knowledge out there for anybody to learn.
He has a bunch of stuff on YouTube right now too.
Exactly. And I am a massive hypocrite for not signing up for Slam Academy and learning all of this stuff.
Yeah, they got 2 locations, one in Denver, one in Minneapolis, but otherwise everything's online.
Yep. Mr. Bill teaches the one in Denver, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, man, I'm so happy that Virtual Riot's here. I don't know why he's here, but I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm happy too. He's one of the early streams I watched that got me going on my sound design journeys.
Such a good dude. And he only cares about progressing people. And
well, not that, but his level of creativity is crazy to me. Like the other day he posted this one video of him using this EQ, and he automated a bunch of different points in the EQ to be opposite, and basically he automated them in a circle, like a frequency spectrum. He automated a bunch of peaks. So as a bunch of peaks swept upwards, a bunch of peaks swept downwards.
Yeah, so they're not fighting with each other, so you can hear them clearly. And that's creating dynamics.
And it made a really cool effect on the sound. It was like swirling almost, bro. And it's he just puts this into a rack and puts it out for free. He's like, I forgot what he called it, bro. He's got like a frequency fucking something. I don't know.
I mean, there's a frequency shifter that's like a tool, but like, yeah, I'm sure he called it something different. That's more.
Well, like basically he's like out here recreating these expensive ass plugins with stock plugins.
Yep.
And then just putting them on a rack and putting them out here, bro. That part to me is so huge. Music is more than just making cool sounds. It's understanding there's a math to the shit. There's an art, you know?
And I arguably, I think it's more creativity than anything. It's putting that DAW in front of you, that DAW, and just seeing what happens. Humans are crazy like that. We put stuff in front of us and we just learn how it works, and then we figure out more things to innovate with that, and it's just crazy.
His mind is a madhouse for sure, though.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
You know, I have no idea who created DAWs or anything, but you gotta think about the shit you're using right now was created by the human brain.
Yep.
And that came from something I can't even fathom how deep these programs go.
It's insane.
But one person has all this information, and then it just fed up. So many other people created everything else to just keep it going.
One person, maybe multiple people, had an idea. They wanted to make music making easier, and I feel like Ableton really did that, because that was created by DJs that wanted to make live music, and that's why Ableton is used so much in live production, because it's so compatible with being able to make beats on the fly. Like Fred again, I'm not certain what DAW he uses, but the way he's able
Logic.
to,
I've seen him use Logic a bunch.
Logic? Yeah, I know Logic's really good too.
That's
I mean, they're all good. It doesn't matter what DAW you use. You can make amazing music in GarageBand or even Audacity. I know people that made great music in Audacity, just like up and coming rappers. Like, it's crazy.
It just doesn't make sense sometimes how, let's say you put reverb on this track and I put reverb on a track. We're going to do it 2 completely different ways. He might sidechain it, do all these different things, maybe add a little delay to it or something, but we could get the same sound, but do it 2 completely different ways. And there's unlimited ways to do that.
Everything.
You could do no reverb and only use delays to get that reverb effect.
Yeah, in a sense, yeah, you could do that. Absolutely.
So it's just
create like it's like a trick in the ear.
Yeah.
And you gotta keep in mind, like, my mono workflow too. Like, I have on my master chain in Ableton, I have a utility, and then I hotkeyed, I think it's the tilde sign right underneath escape. So I hotkeyed the tilde sign to the mono utility. So when I'm working on my project, I'll hit that tilde or whatever key is underneath the escape button. It's not used regularly in the DAW, but it will make it so my track is mono instantly. So I can make sure that everything is mono compatible, because these big sound systems, they use mono, and that was like a big thing. Honestly, when I released Dreams and Insomnia, my first 2 tracks, they were both in mono. And I would go on Twitch streams where they're doing like live music critique review, and that helped me a lot, because everybody was like, "Oh, this is all in mono." Like, and I was like, what did I do wrong? And then I figured out that I accidentally had the mono on while I exported.
So your whole track was in mono.
Yeah, but it still sounded good, you know? But like it was just all singular.
Those are good prompts to have in a sense.
Yeah, it was a really big learning moment that I am happy that I learned
when you
about.
switch to stereo, it's just that much better probably, huh?
Oh, man.
Hit your ear in different spots.
Oh, I mean, stereo is just better in general.
Yeah.
I mean, it just so wide and so good. But I was just so concerned about my mono compatibility that I was too concerned. But I've seen a couple videos where artists were like, don't be too concerned about the mono. Yeah, check it here every once in a while. But like, then you'll run into like phasing issues and whatnot. But don't be too concerned about your mono flow, but you still have at the same, side, you got to make sure that it still sounds good in mono, because you go in a mono system, you'll have a bass that sounds really cool, but it's like mostly stereo. It won't even show up. So
yeah,
it's like,
you'll get straight sub.
Yeah.
If you're lucky, yeah.
If they're phasing, that sub won't even show up.
That shit's gonna be non-existent.
So it's gonna be like people are dancing and there's absolutely zero
boom,
sub, and you're like, oh,
boom,
I gotta switch.
That's
this
literally it.
Yeah.
Just kick a snare.
Absolutely. But
everybody pull up here. It's the best place in the world. Shout out to everybody here. Like, I can't even. The ropes of the meanings of the veins that go deep within my heart I give it to everybody. You know what I mean? This is a spot. This is for us.
You can truly feel the vibes that were up here back in 1936. It's
I can see some lady with a flower in her
Shut
hat.
up, bro.
Smoking,
yeah, you're freaking me out now.
Smoking a long cigarette, just.
No, there has been
like use your imagination. You can tell what's happened here. There's some dope parties.
Bad, bro. Back in the day,
they had
bro,
some famous people here for sure.
Elvis was in this bitch probably.
But like you got it all comes down to the hospitality, and it's always been 100%, and that's why people keep coming here.
Absolutely. Yep. Service is top notch.
Take notes.
We get. Yeah, service is top notch here, even though it gets shoulder to shoulder in this bitch. It's yeah.
This is where you bring a girl for the first time. No, only good things happen here. If you want to know about the Prohibition, Google is your friend.
If you want to know
tell
about
you everything you need to know.
Fucking Dayngr, SoundCloud, Instagram, everything. This fucking podcast. Tap the fuck in right now.
Gotta be good.
How's 30 plays feel, man? 30,000.
30,000.
How's that feel?
Man, it's surreal.
Yeah.
It's actually surreal.
What was your first thought when you saw that number?
I didn't think it. I mean, we're not there yet.
Okay.
But we're about 200 plays from. So.
Yeah, I like to round up because in math you round,
Get there though. Please help me get there.
Oh, I got you. Hey, y'all go check that shit out right now, bro.
Yeah.
Link is gonna be in the description somewhere.
It's very surreal. I mean, I released Dreams, my first track, and I was like, man, when's it gonna get up there? And it's, in my opinion, a very mids track that I released. It was the first track I ever
What about
released.
that track makes you think it's mids?
Just because every song I make now, I'm just getting better and better.
Okay, so that was one of the first editions of your good stuff.
That was the first song I ever made that I was like, because I made plenty of songs before that, and I was like, yeah, it's not good enough. But this song dreams, I was like, I think it's finally there. I think people will enjoy this. I think people will headbang. It's got a good drop. It's got a really good second drop. I think people are actually going to like this. So, and I got to get music out there. I got to get known. You're not going to get known by not throwing anything out there.
You got to push it out there.
You got to. And I pushed it out there. It's my second most popular song. Then I made Insomnia, and I was super excited about that. I'm like, yeah, I fucking love this song. It's so great. I was super excited to push it out, and now it's my most popular song. And I haven't been able to recreate anything since that. Like, I haven't been able to recreate anything like it. I've gotten similar, but my sound is ever evolving. I'm trying to get it better with every song. I have this expectation for myself. Basically perfectionism, but I'm not trying to be absolutely perfect because I won't put anything out if it's not absolutely perfect, and that's
the struggles of being an artist, though.
Exactly that.
Nothing's ever gonna be perfect, but
nothing.
It's an infinite thing. But I get exactly what you're saying when it comes to that aspect.
Yeah, it's a tough battle. I mean, it's such producing music and putting yourself out there is such an amazing example of expression of your feelings of yourself and that other people can feel. It's such an amazing thing. And the fact that more people are doing it nowadays because of YouTube University.
Shout out to YouTube University.
Seriously. For real. And that was a big thing when I first started learning. And I was like, man, like this technique that I'm learning right now, it only has like 5,000 views on it. I feel like my odds are pretty good at, making music and pushing myself out there and getting big. And don't get it twisted. I every artist wants to get big. And if they tell you not, they're lying. So it's like,
but one of the benefits of learning those techniques is once you learn it, it's in your bag. So then you start like putting your own spin on it.
Yep. Eventually it will come. Just keep your head down and just keep grinding. And man,
once you get there, you won't even know that you're there.
Yeah,
it's gonna take a bit.
I kind of agree with that.
Yeah, Kobe has a quote that says like, I forgot exactly how it goes, but it's like you won't even complain about how long it took to get there once you're there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because you put in the work, and it's like you're not gonna get there without putting in any work. It's just not a thing. That's a pipe dream. It's like if someone tells you that, they're lying. Any production video I watched where they're saying, "Oh, you have to do this like this specifically," I immediately stop watching. Seriously.
Yeah, bro, shut up.
Because it's like music is subjective. It should be. This is a technique I use to make this sound. Yes, you can use it, but like create your own variations. It should never be. If anyone tells you, yeah, it should be like this every time, that's a crock of bullshit. Every time. Music's not like that. You could create the most shitty sounding song ever and people would still love it. It's not up to the artist at all. At all.
Bro, if you could classify yourself as a music genre would you classify yourself as?
Definitely dubstep.
Definitely dubstep.
that kick snare. That kick snare. I'm trying to headbang. I love headbanging.
Nuts.
Absolutely.
What's your top 5 looking like right now for dubstep?
Man, for artists, I don't want to say Skrillex because he hasn't been like old Skrillex, I vibe with Skrillex's latest stuff. Heavy. It is dubstep. It's like old school dubstep where it's, head bobby. Boom, boom, boom. But definitely, yeah, like I said, Anti-Hero. I gotta go on my playlist because I listen to so much music.
You don't even know. He's like, I gotta see what songs I fuck with.
I'm trying to find so much. Calcium is a very good one.
Calcium goes nuts, bro.
Quicks isn't too much.
Him and Peekaboo have dope
Dubstep.
sets.
Peekaboo for sure.
Yeah.
Liney. I cannot express how much I love Liney. Liney is
Not familiar.
so good. And on Liney's SoundCloud, he put less is more. And that is so true. I think that we're getting into, like when Skrillex and Virtual Riot and all these other artists were on the upcoming with dubstep. It was so like intricate and so like a lot going on. It's like wow, like very.
It's like 8 basses,
crazy,
and
But now it's starting to get back to very simple, and that's what I'm trying to get with my music.
Something I realized too is if you fuck with macros, using the macros, you can keep the same fucking bass all the way through. Just tweak
slightly.
You just turn the macros up and down. Macros are controlling different effects. You could get a bunch of different sounds from one channel.
100%.
Yeah, and like a lot of people will be like, "How do I get basses that sound so cohesive?" It's like, bro, just put a macro on it, see what different versions of it, and then as your drop progresses, fuck with your macro.
Automate.
Yep.
Automation.
Automate that motherfucker.
Yep.
And then like once you start with that, it's gonna take you down the rabbit hole. Oh shit, maybe I could put some reverb on this. Automate that.
Yeah.
Some echo or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
You can automate anything.
I guess I want to talk about some like inspirations I have other than dubstep.
Yeah,
like
crazy.
Tycho. Tycho is a man that makes he calls it IDM music, intelligent dance music. It's very, very chill music. Not a lot of vocals. It's almost like the, your YouTube playlist of beats to study and chill to. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like that. But I went through some dark times in high school and fresh out, and Tycho was with me throughout that entire time. So it's like every time I listen to Tycho, because there's no lyrics, you're able to create your own story with that song.
And the fact that he's been around for so long, which is great. That's kind of like my Getter for me.
Yeah, Getter's amazing
because he's had so many different phases, and not only that, he makes fucking rap music too. Like,
yeah,
and he's an influencer on YouTube,
and he doesn't give a fuck.
Doesn't give a fuck. His real name's Tanner. Like, like.
What's up,
I'm not even hating on that. I'm just saying, like, he's a normal dude, but like to me, he's that guy. Like, I wish I could be that guy.
All in all, every artist is just another human being.
100%.
Just trying to make it. Just trying to do it. And yeah, Tycho, Odessa is another big one.
That's great.
Man, Odessa.
Did you go to their show at the Armory when they were here last?
Absolutely, with their live band. Oh man,
I wasn't
life-changing.
But
I think that was when their last.
I was supposed to be there.
It was their
final
last tour.
Like every other 80s rock
they're
band's
still
last
on their
tour.
last tour. Their last tour ain't over yet.
Yeah,
I think their last.
Make 85 more stops.
I think their last tour is gonna be another 10 years.
Yeah, I could see it, but
which I'm thankful for, by the way.
Yeah, 100%.
I think everybody's thankful for that.
I didn't catch their last show here, so I gotta go catch them at some point.
Yeah, definitely.
And then hate to be that guy, boys. I could do this all fucking day, and I love it. But anything we want to say to wrap it up?
Let's do it.
Anything?
Leave us off with some wisdom.
Man, just keep chasing your dreams. You will get there if you work hard enough and you care about it. It's not even the work ethic. It's if you care about it and you be patient, and if you work hard on top of that, and if you're proud of your music, people will recognize that, and then they will feel it. So if you're putting shit out you don't like, people won't recognize that.
And I feel you're saying 100%. Also, kids, get out there, make connections, because I don't make music, but the fact that I know all you guys, we wouldn't fucking be here today. Like, if
connections are important.
So important, dude. Like, we would not be up in this space right now if it wasn't for me knowing Dane. I thank all you guys so much, honestly.
Yeah, thank everybody for tuning in. We appreciate everybody that's been with us for the ride. Shout out to the boss. Shout out to Hoodie. Shout out to Dayngr. We out here.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Make sure to fucking subscribe. Give us a follow on everything. Gotta be good. Don't be bad.
Holy shit, boys.
Yeah, that was a long one.
That was good.